Hi, everybody. Welcome
Hey.
to the stream. Duke, hi.
Hi.
Hi, Duke. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, this is my husband, everybody.
I'm the husband.
You know. There's no secret,
Hi.
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 Duke, you're my husband.
I am?
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
I know. We
That's
got
so
married. Let's
cool.
clink our rings so everybody can hear them. Awesome. Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing? Welcome to today. Is that a Sunday? Sunday. How's it going?
I'm sleepy.
I'm CP?
Yeah.
Right below, God, thank you for the subscription. Are you CP? I CP. Right before the stream, Duke and I just like cuddled for an hour.
Yeah, it's because I had a migraine.
Yeah, but then it went away.
Mostly.
And now it's back.
I took Tylenol before starting the stream, so.
Okay. Well, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I hope you feel better. Everybody, welcome to the stream. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for coming down.
And goodbye.
And goodbye.
That's it.
That's it. We just wanted to say hi. No, that's the lie. That's not the truth. Today, we're going to be playing a little bit of Spelunky. But that's not really the main focus. Last night, Duke and I watched all of Squid Game. And
We got opinions.
We got opinions. We spent like 3 hours last night just talking about it. Like we just like so let me give some backstory. Duke and I, we like to watch movies occasionally.
We love watching movies.
We love watching movies together, and we not to our own horns. We're active viewers, I would say. We like to watch it, and we like to have our thoughts on it and what they could have done better, what was really good, what we enjoyed, what we didn't like, and we like to break down the messages of what it was, and really just talk about it. And whenever we watch a movie, we'll just talk for hours about it.
We will.
It doesn't matter if it's a good or a bad movie. Like we will just talk about it for ages. Like last night, we talked for like 2 straight hours, just like talking, and then for the rest of the night, like as we were getting ready for bed and we were half asleep, we just kept like saying stuff about it.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to talk about this on stream because, God damn it, we're really good at talking.
You?
Duke and I have actually considered maybe turning this into a podcast.
Yeah.
Which I'm very excited about the idea of. Essentially, the way it would work is we would record those conversations as well as just while we're us talking while we're watching the movie, and edit that down into like a podcast format. And that way you get the fresh talk. Because the thing about this stream here is we've already talked about it.
We've had our opinions.
We've had our opinions and we've said them. So we have to like balance what if we told each other and what have we not told you guys. And we have to remember what like all we said. Because sometimes when you say something, it's out and then it's gone.
It's
right?
gone forever.
Or like your brain subconsciously is like, yeah, I already said this, so I don't need to say it again.
Exactly.
So we're going to do our best.
Yeah.
But I think that'd be fun if we turn this into a podcast and had eventually, not now. But today's basically a little teaser for what that could look like. And I'm going to play Spelunky because, it's a stream and you need something to look at, I guess. And streams are good. Or Spelunky's good for me to play while talking about things. While we are starting here, you also are capable of supporting us. You are able to do that through song requests and other methods. But song requests are on for today. You can pay $3 to have a song of up to 5 minutes in length. But yeah, Duke and I just like movies quite a bit.
Yeah. We love talking about them.
We love talking to movies. Talking to movies. Right to the screen.
With movies. Reaching through the screen and grabbing the characters.
And just grabbing their little faces and just squeezing them around. Just knocking them around, just throwing them around. Let me go ahead and boot up the game. And I guess we just start talking about this. So I want to start out with like what we liked about it, because I think a lot of this is going to be about critiques, because we have our critiques
for sure,
and it's easier to talk about a critique and also more fun to talk about what could have happened. The audio is a little echoey and a smidge crunchy. Uh-oh. Is it bad? I don't know how to. Oh, that'll do it. I had the wrong audio setting. Oops. We were being blasted. Sorry about that, y'all. This should be better now.
Hell yeah.
Sorry about that. I had our audio on max again.
Also,
oopsies.
If you guys don't know by now, there's gonna be spoilers.
Yeah, so we are gonna definitely talk about Squid Game spoilers. In fact, we're gonna spoil the whole fucking show.
Yeah.
Because a lot of what we want to talk about especially when we get to the critique portion,
Yeah.
is about the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot to say on those last 30 seconds. But yeah, so we're gonna stream what happened. Wait, are we okay? Are we good? Are we good?
Can you hear us?
Are we good? Somebody said Twitch soft crashed. Are we okay? Is Twitch okay? Because I'm live.
Crypto ad.
Ew, icky. I don't like crypto.
If you can, okay,
you can hear us now. Okay, that's weird. I guess Twitch exploded.
Cool. Thanks, Twitch.
Good timing. All right. But yeah, so let's go ahead and start with what we enjoyed.
I'd like to start with visual direction.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean,
fantastic.
Everybody knows this, right? Like that's like I think the reason it has gotten so big is because it has such a fantastic art direction.
Yes.
Like you said, like I really love its dedication to the childlike aesthetics.
Yeah, they have an aesthetic and they stick to it. Even like in the like comm room where like all the bad guy henchmen are. Like they have like arcade aesthetics.
Yeah, like in the control room, they have arcade cabinets as their surveillance machines, and like that's great. Just the little details like that, and then the MC Escher room is obviously beautiful. I really do love how everything looks. The cinematography is also really good.
Absolutely.
I think that gets overshadowed a bit by the fantastic set design, but really good shots throughout it. Characters, super good.
Characters are great. There are some very, very strong character-driven episodes.
Yes.
Episode 2 is genuinely one of my favorite episodes, just because it shows like the characters' drives and motivations so well.
Episode 2, which for those who don't know is it's basically episode 1 they go to Squid Games. In episode 2, they had all voted to leave, and it was showing their lives outside of the game and basically giving us motivation for why they went back, because they do go back
because
of their
it'd
own
be
volition.
Like, hey, what would push a person to go to this death game willingly?
Right?
And it shows like the amount of desperation, the horrible circumstances that these people have been like driven into. It's really interesting.
It's really, really well done, and there's no big set pieces either in episode 2. Squid Game obviously has a lot of big set pieces, and people have gravitated to that.
Like the red light, green light thing.
Exactly. That's
all that stuff.
You see everybody's like, oh, I made Squid Games in real life. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Right? Like it's big because it's obviously it's eye catching. But episode 2 has no big set pieces. It is entirely character driven, and
it's grounded.
And it's probably my favorite episode of the show. It is so fantastic. There's another episode which is also character driven down the line, which is I don't know what it's called, but it's the one where they play marbles.
Yes.
And if you know what I'm talking about, yeah, it is a very heart-wrenching episode. Essentially, and we're getting, again, very major spoilers here. Essentially, the marble episode is they team everybody up in teams of 2, and obviously everybody picks their like best friends because these have all been team games so far. And then they make it so you have to play against your teammate, and then
whoever loses
dies. So you basically you have stuff like a married couple chose each other as partners, and everybody's like best friends chose each other basically. And it's really sad, and you see because this is
again the desperation.
The desperation, yeah. So Squid Game is obviously, it has a message of desperation and what people who are desperate are willing to do to get out of that situation. It has an anti-capitalist message. Obviously these people put them in this situation. The rich. And the rich benefit directly from all this, etc., etc. And that episode, just like you see a lot, like you see our main character the main character, Gi-hoon. Sorry about pronunciation, by the way. I'm gonna do our best. I'm white. The main character, Gi-hoon, is you see in the first episodes, he's very desperate. He's a gambling addiction, and when he is desperate, he gets fairly ugly. But they try and push that he is a very good-natured person. When he is not stuck in a desperate situation, he is genuinely trying his best. He wants to help people. He is good-natured. He's the good-natured protagonist, right? And this episode is the only time in which he really completely goes against his morals, because His partner is Ilnam, who is the old man with dementia, and he basically tricks this old man with dementia into giving him all the marbles, and he's like sad about it, but it is pretty reprehensible what he's doing.
Like he actively chose to kill a person.
Exactly, for his own survival, and it is back to that message of desperation. And I didn't mean to break that.
Yeah, you did a whoopsie.
Yeah, it's fine. But anyways, it's just very, very, very good episode. And you see this stuff going through a bunch of characters, and you really see, because the nice thing about the death game genre is you really see, you get to tear apart people, and you get to see how they would act in horrible situations. And it's a really good way to have character driven plots.
Yeah.
And these episodes really, really did it for me. What else did we like about it? I mean, a lot. We did like the show.
I liked. I might. I'm completely blanking, which is a very sad thing because it's a very good.
That's
show.
Okay. Yeah. It's because we talked about this. This is why we gotta record right after we watch it.
We talked about it yesterday, and I'm like, well, I like this and I like that. I've already said it. Let's see. I liked the main cast, but also the side cast of characters. Even though they start out with like over 400 people, I think.
456.
Yeah, 456. They start out with like over 400 people. A lot of the very side characters get taken out quickly through like the first task. The first task.
Yeah, they're means to the plot, right? They're not real characters. They are just means to have this plot. They're sort of fodder to explain what's going on. Balthazar, thank you for $3.
Balthazar donated $3. First try.
But when you get farther into the game, you learn a lot about these characters, even the ones who don't really have names, like the married guy. Like you notice and recognize the married couple, and it's very interesting because you see people in the background, and I'm assuming that they picked out like the actual actors and didn't just have like random actors and everything. So like you find these people and you go, oh hey, I see that guy, I know that guy, and then you see them get killed off in like the background or like kind of not a throwaway scene, but in like another scene, and you go, oh
shit, that was the guy that
was the guy
that was the guy I kind of liked.
That was the guy I sort of liked.
But yeah, no, very good side characters, very good. Like I like the way they treated them. I think generally, messaging, I think, is something we got to talk about. Because...
Are we going into criticism?
Not yet.
Okay.
But obviously Squid Game is a very politically driven show.
Yes.
There's no getting around it. Obviously, a lot of people have missed maybe... okay. I have a little bit of a hot take.
Go for it.
A lot of people say that people miss the point when they're like, oh, Squid Games is cool. I don't know if I entirely am with that. I think that you can enjoy the aesthetics of it and enjoy it as a death game genre while still understanding the point it's trying to make. But that's besides the point. That's not really important for what we're talking about today. But yeah, very, very strong messaging. I think it has, the anti-capitalist message is nice, and it's good to hear.
It's pretty strong.
It's pretty refreshing. It's very strong.
Especially as like an American going Canadian audience member. It's refreshing seeing an anti-capitalist message from like another point of view, perspective.
Yeah. Okay, it's time to start talking about stuff though.
Yeah.
I think. So we're just gonna jump into it. I'm not gonna have to maybe explain everything because there's a lot we're gonna be talking about, a lot of concepts, a lot of story beats. I want to talk about some characters' individual stories.
Sure, go for it.
So right off the bat, the cop. I think we might want to start with the cop.
Okay.
So there's a character, and he's the cop. And he goes in. He's a police officer, and his brother's missing, and so he goes in to see what's going on with Squid Games.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I have problems with him as a character because everything in Squid Game is fairly grounded.
Sure.
But his character kind of bumbles his way through things.
His character, okay.
Makes very poor choices.
He makes awful choices. It feels like in almost every other scene he's in, he makes like a mistake of sorts. Like,
and it's not just like, oh dang, he messed up and that's good for the plot. Like it's like stuff that doesn't even necessarily get called out on later on. It's just like, why would you do? It's like stupid stuff.
Like he's running through places, leaving doors open, asking really dumb questions. Because he
so he's undercover.
He's
right?
undercover. He impersonates one of the guards who has like the masks.
I want to talk about. Okay, so his entire thing. This is how it starts, right? So there's episode 1. Everybody votes to leave at the end of it.
Sure.
The cop overhears Gi-hoon.
No, this was in episode 2.
This is in episode 2, yeah.
After they left.
The cop overhears in episode 2 Gi-hoon talk about this to the police, right? And the police laugh him off. And so this guy is like, hey, my brother had the same business card and my brother's missing. I'm worried that he might have gotten Squid Game. Yeah. So he goes to talk to Gi-hoon, and Gi-hoon is not helpful. Gi-hoon had a shitty day.
Instead of talking to the other police officers, he instantly, like, goes...
Yeah, like, so instead of this cop, who, by the way, they show to be, like, a good detective. He's like a detective.
A super good, smart, like, detective.
Like, they have a few throwaway lines where the cops are like, oh, keep up the good work. Like, they clearly respect this guy.
Yeah, like, he's some fucking smart.
Right? He's a fancy pants. And so we have that established. So what he does next is he goes and he's like, hey, yeah, I'm just doing some stuff, nothing in particular. Don't ask questions. Can I just get the address for this guy, like the Gi-hoon guy? And they look it up, and he follows some leads. He eventually follows the van, right, like the Squid Game van.
Yeah.
And he finds their fucking boat with like dozens of vans going in. And sure, there's tinted window frames, but like you can probably assume that something weird's going on with a bunch of unmarked vans.
Yeah, because all of these unmarked vans, which hold
the Squid Game people, they're unconscious.
Squid Game people, they're unconscious. There's like 100 of them, because like there's what, like 200 people.
Yeah, so if you can fit like 6 people in a van.
6 people in a van. There's like 200 people. Like
that's a lot of vans.
That's a lot of vans. All of them go onto all of these unmarked vans that are all identical go to one port, get on one ship, and this fucking police officer, instead of, because he has his phone out, instead of taking a picture,
they show his phone. By the way,
they show his phone. He fucking texts his superior officer going, hey, I'm gonna take a break, not gonna be at work today, don't ask questions, bye, and then sneaks onto the fucking boat.
Yeah, so he sneaks under the boat, which, like, okay, I do want to say, this is like sounding nitpicky right now, but we have points to make with this.
Like this is something that gets compounded over time.
Yes, because this is a consistent aspect of his character. So he sneaks onto the boat and starts impersonating them. He's not taking any steps that really make sense in a grounded world. So whatever, he wants to be a secret agent. He goes onto the boat.
Yeah.
Then he like knocks out a guard.
He knocks out a guard.
And then I gotta talk about this.
Dresses the guard as him.
And then puts his ID.
It puts his police ID, not any ID. His police
ID, and puts it on the body of the dead guy and throws him into the ocean.
And throws him into the ocean.
If you're thinking, oh, maybe he's trying to fake his death or something.
Why?
No, he's not. First off, why?
Second off,
that's not what happens. Jumping to the very end here a little bit, just a little bit for a moment. What ends up happening is they find the dead body and they go, oh, a cop is here now.
Yeah,
they figure it out because they see the badge. Also, I gotta say, he knocked that guy out pretty early on the barge, and then the body's washed up on the island that the boat was going to.
Sure.
Where is that current? How is that current working?
That's too nitpicky, but like whatever.
That's too nitpicky, but yeah, it's the weirdest move ever, and his entire story is full of that shit. And that's why I don't really like the cop story. On top of that, though, the worst part about the cop is it doesn't go anywhere. His entire character is just exposition and showing behind the scenes stuff.
It is literally just exposition.
So what ends up happening is the front man, who is basically like the leader of
the Darth Vader.
He's the Darth Vader. He's the leader of the Squid Games, but he's not the big bad, right? He doesn't run the whole show, but he runs he's running the show, but not he didn't make the show. So what ends up happening is they're brothers, right? Oh, that was his brother that went missing. Oh no. Sure.
Whatever.
They don't do anything with that.
They do nothing.
And then
It felt like a twist.
And then the brother
Right.
shoots him and he falls into the ocean and then he's just gone. And then later the brother has a PTSD episode about it. He starts seeing him in the mirror. And then they drop that plot
drop
thread
it
because that
entirely.
is like
That's the last time you see him.
that's the last time you see the front man.
Uh-huh.
And I should point out, oh, maybe they're doing something in the sequel. The creator said they didn't want to make a sequel.
Yeah.
So you could argue that, yeah, it's a sequel baity, but if they didn't want to make a sequel, why put that in there?
Also, this entire thing was so sequel baity.
The
I want to
entire
complain
thing.
more about the cop, but I also
Yeah.
want to complain about sequel baiting.
We can do both.
Okay, so cop exposition exposition entirely. He fucking he's so bad at his job.
Yeah,
like
fucking-
he's impersonating the guards. And I'm sorry, I smacked your mic.
That's okay.
But like every single time he does it, he asks the dumbest questions.
There's this one point where he's so this is another thing we have to talk about because it's another thing where it's like, why didn't they elaborate on this? Which we're gonna get into a lot.
Yeah.
But there's this basically there's a set of the Squid Game staff are doing organ harvesting on the side. Some of the
Yes.
dead bodies that don't make it all the way dead, they take the organs out and they sell them, which is
Something.
something. We'll get into that. We definitely have words on that. But that was sure. So he sneaks in to this organ harvesting thing and he starts asking questions like, "Hey, they mentioned the VIPs," and he's like, "Who are the VIPs?
Who are the VIPs? Like,
Dude, are you stupid? You don't need to ask that
fucking
question." He's constantly asking questions like that where it's like, you can infer that you should know this if you're this role. But he's just so stupid that he's constantly asking this stuff.
and the thing is that he gets out by sheer dumb luck almost every time. Like he in the organ harvesting thing, like he and a bunch of other guards are like arguing, and they're like, "Hey, wait a second.
Yeah, how do you not know this?
You
and
don't
also,
know anything, and
He's
you
like,
were there,
what happened to
but,
this
like, you're not
body?
talking
He's
about
like, well, hey, what
things."
happened to this body that we talked about? And he's like, you carried the body out. What are you talking about? Hey, you should know this. What are you talking about? And then the only reason he doesn't get caught there is because the fucking guy doing the surgery is like, this is my OR room. Shut up.
He's like, "Oh, this is my hospital. Like, you gotta help me and shut up right now." And it's like, that's it. Just sheer dumb luck.
I know.
And it's like,
And then
and it sucks because in other parts of this show, they handle tension
so well. That's the thing. All of our complaints come from the fact that they did so many things so well that it is frustrating when they do things embarrassingly bad, like this. So I want to talk about can we talk about the organ harvesting?
Actually, one more thing.
Oh yeah, please.
With the police officer. So eventually he escapes. He escapes Squid Games, and
Good for him.
he's leaving. And all of a sudden I guess the quality of the cinematography becomes much worse.
Yeah, that's right. So he goes onto this like nearby island.
He goes onto like a nearby, probably deserted island, and he's got a bunch of guards chasing him, and also like the head guy and whatever. And
It looks bad.
it looks like a YouTube movie.
It
It looks
does.
like, like in some of those YouTube things where there's like a person who's like trying to make a statement on something, and they think that their audience is getting bored, so they throw in like a
Chase
B
scene.
plot where they're like, "Oh, I'm getting chased," and it's a YouTuber running through a forest. And like it's just kind of silly bullshit. That's literally the type of quality that this like few scenes were, and it sucks because the rest of it was so good.
So good. Yeah, it was really weird.
Let's talk about organ harvesting.
Now let's talk about organ harvesting. Okay, so I need to talk for a little bit.
Wow.
So Squid Game has the staff and it has the players. There is a lot of staff there. There is like they have these rooms. It is tiny little single cell rooms that they go in at the end of the day. They're not allowed to talk
They get
without
locked
their
in.
supervisor's permission. They get locked in every night. They are almost like slave labor. It feels like they're prisoners in
They're
this
prisoners.
place. It feels like.
At least the circle.
At least the
guys.
circle people, right? There is a hierarchy. There's circle, which is worker. There's triangle, which is soldier, and then there's square, which is management.
Yeah.
Which is a critique on capitalism
Sure.
in its own right. But
Sure.
so they try to do this side plot where they're doing organ harvesting on the side,
Yes.
and it just opens up so many questions for me. For example, they have like an escape route that they leave to go sell, and they explain that escape route is for the VIPs.
Yes.
Sure.
Sure.
But if they're doing organ harvesting, that means they're getting money from it. So that means they want more money. So are they not being paid very well here? Because what's keeping them, if they're allowed to leave, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Then what's keeping them to keep the secret? Because to have all these workers, my understanding is they probably pay them very well to keep the secret and to be okay with killing people. What makes them okay with all this murder and all this? Because they have a lot of scenes in the show where they're like, hey, I'm just a regular person too. They try to humanize them, which I'm cool with. But what are they getting out of all this? Like, what is their point? And what is the vetting process? How are they chosen? Are they, like, clearly they have a very big, like, regiment of training. They know what they're doing.
And also, they get killed very quickly.
They get killed very quickly,
if they take off their mask, they get killed. If they just do something wrong, they get killed. But also, on the other hand, they're selling organs, and the head guy says he knows about it,
right? And he doesn't care.
And
they say that after they get caught, and he didn't care about the organ harvesting.
Yeah, he didn't.
But they thought he would. They had a whole secret operation.
Yeah.
So if they're organ harvesting, that means they need extra money, or at least they want it.
Yes.
Now, organs make a good amount of money.
Sure.
But if they are not already making enough, like, what I'm saying is they're not making enough to be comfortable with it, which means they are at risk to leave, which means the entire operation is at risk.
Yes.
Because these people are allowed to go out. They're allowed to leave the island. They're allowed to go to the mainland.
Well, we don't know that, but also, like, they're shown driving cars. What's stopping them from just pulling over and,
Exactly. What if they're recruited like the players are? But the thing is, that's what I'm saying, is they're allowed to leave. They have an escape route, which they use regularly. They have this boat that goes unnamed. It's the boat, quote unquote. They talk about it occasionally, and it's for the organ harvesting. Whose boat is this? Why is it coming there?
Is it the organ harvesters?
Is it their own boat that we saw earlier, or is it the organ harvester's boat? Whose boat is this? We never see it. We don't know. And if it is the organ harvesters, or even if it's their own boat, what's allowing this boat to travel? I mean, this place is super secret. They want to keep things on lockdown. Why are they allowing this travel to and from, right? So what's up with the boat? Something's going on here. Either that boat means they're allowed to come and go occasionally, or the organ harvesters are coming and they're allowing that. Blackmail / threat to family? Sure, except, again, like, I don't want to have to infer this stuff.
Sure.
They talk about it. They brush along it. They add so many questions where it's like, I want to know about this. And the cop storyline was the perfect time to delve into that.
Sure.
But they never do anything with it. We get to see a couple behind the scenes things, but it doesn't really show us anything about the workers. The only times we get to see the workers is during the organ harvesting plot, which ends up going nowhere.
Also, I feel like the cop got the least amount of character development.
Yes.
Which I feel like was sorely needed. Because he wasn't allowed... Because, first off, he wasn't allowed to talk to anyone, which was part of the point. Outside of, like, the organ harvesting, all he does is make up probably the worst excuses for him being bad. They're like, hey, why are you here? And he's like, I don't know, I'm confused.
Right? He's so shitty at making his excuses. There's a line that specifically says that at least the organ harvesters are just incredibly awful. Life is awful outside the Squid Games. Did they have that line? I don't know. I don't remember that line.
I don't know.
Sorry, I'm taking a break from Spelunky because I just really want to get into this.
This happened in Splatoon 2. Wow, Splatoon really changed in that one.
So you think that the point is that they're being mistreated. There are people who will accept anything above the situation the participants are in, which I think is a fair point.
Sure.
I just think, the people doing the harvesting are just horrible people. Right, but they need something to get out of it. Like, they're not just doing harvesting to be evil and we're taking harvesting. Like,
they're not taking organs just for the fun of it.
No, exactly.
They're doing it for money. They mention money in it.
Right. So you feel like this may come up in the next season if there is one. That's the thing, is we talked about this earlier. The creator said they didn't want a second season. So all of our critiques here come from the idea that this is a single season show.
Yeah. Again, like, assuming that this is a single season show, they left a lot of loose threads. Like, a lot of loose threads. There's that. There's the one head guy. maybe turning to the good guy side because he might have killed his brother. There's the whole, hey, maybe the cop's not dead because he got shot in the shoulder.
Right, because they kind of show that he maybe could have survived.
He got into the water, and let's face it, we've all watched Pirates of the Caribbean. We know what happens when you jump off fucking cliffs. You're fine. Like,
it shows how much they dehumanize the players. Hey, they're already dead, so we might as well get something out of them. I understand that. That's not my problem. I don't have a problem with the organ harvesting as a concept. I have a problem with the fact that
why are they getting the money?
Why are they getting the money? You say we may as well get something out of them, but
why do they need the something?
Why do they need the something? Because if they are brought there through blackmail, they have they have too much freedom, I think.
Yeah.
To for that excuse to work. If their lives are just as bad as the participants and they are getting something out of this, right?
Sure.
Then we've already seen how much desperation the participants will go to. Why isn't there more experience? Like, why are there not more, are there runaways? Oh, I know exactly why. That there is a line that actually disproves that.
Okay.
The line where it says, if a participant goes missing, that's a big deal, but if a soldier goes missing, it's no problem.
And then again, if a soldier if a soldier goes missing, that's a lot of information.
Right? That's the
just
thing.
Gone.
You're not pressed or anything, just adding to the discussion. No, I appreciate it. This is a discussion.
This is a discussion. We're not heated because of something.
No, we're passionate.
We're just passionate.
Yeah, we love this show.
Also,
but there's so many questions.
Scuttle said that there's going to be a second season. Yeah, because Netflix wants it.
Yeah, that's the thing, is the creator didn't want a second season. Yes, they're gonna make one because Netflix is gonna make it happen. But we have to take this at face value because the creator didn't want a first season,
which means that the entire thing was written
as a single season
show.
Right.
And for a single season show,
it has a lot
of loose ends.
And it's not loose ends that are like, oh, this is interesting to think about necessarily.
It's mildly frustrating.
It's mildly frustrating. It's loose ends where it's like, what?
Yeah.
Why'd you stop there? Like, it's weird. Like the very ending, which I want to get to later, because the very last 30 seconds are really weird, really whiplashy, but we'll get to that.
Extremely whiplashy.
But yeah, so they say that it's no big deal if a soldier goes missing. So that means that that's a lot of information to go missing. Like, if this is supposed to be a big secret. So I just don't really understand what motivates the staff.
And
go ahead.
You and I talked about this earlier, but we haven't mentioned it here. It's not really shown how exactly the main guys, the super rich guys, how they maintain this power.
Right.
There's fear of death, obviously, because people get fucking shot left and right. There's money, but how do they keep it this covert?
Yeah, so my biggest thing, right, is it seems like it's a super secret.
It's supposed to be a super secret.
So what I expected going into this, right? It's a critique on capitalism, and they have these snooty rich people.
Yeah.
I expected that I'm just gonna go all in here. Okay.
Go for it,
so in the
please.
beginning of the show, the police laugh off Gi-hun as he goes to be like, "Hey, there's a Squid Games." And I was expecting that the police were being paid off, and that's why they laughed them off.
And if the police were paid off, then it would be a very interesting thing.
It would give the cop a reason to be there.
It would explain the reason for the cop to be there.
Because he's the naive, he's the one good cop, right?
He's the one good cop, heart of gold,
right? Like, shows love to do that.
Gotta, save his brother and blah blah blah, Yeah. And that would make sense, and it would make him feel more alone. It wouldn't make you constantly guess, hey, dude, why aren't you getting backup right now?
It would be so much. What if there was a scene, right? And Duke and I talked about this. What if there was a scene when he was trying to investigate where he did talk to the police? Oh, the food's ready.
Oh, the food's
Could you go get our
ready.
food, darling?
Yeah.
What if there was a scene where he did talk to his cop buddies, but instead of helping him, oh, you okay, darling?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Instead of helping him, what if they were don't look into that. Oh, it's nothing. And then at one point, maybe he gets somebody tries to pay him off, and that is why he decides to go it alone, because he doesn't have any cover. That would make a lot more sense. And it would also, if the police are being paid off, it would also just make the world a little more cohesive. Because if the idea is, which seems to be what they're saying, is that the wealthy, just this hasn't been discovered, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. I think the message is going to supposedly be that, they pay it off. Because that is how things work in the real world. They pay off, You know, they pay people off, and that's how they do these fucked up things. But there's no sign of that in the show, and that's kind of my main point here. Yes, darling. Yes, put it back in for 10 minutes. But yeah, so that's something. Shit, I've lost my train of thought. Right, paying off, yeah. So I just think that would have been a lot better. I think that would have been a very nice way to tie things together, to explain things, to make the world a little more cohesive. Because yeah, they make it sound like this is just this big secret organization. I don't know. I'm rambling now. I'm going in circles. You wonder if they had to rewrite things to leave loose ends because Netflix wanted a season 2? It's possible, but so Duke, you mentioned that this show was made before Netflix picked it up?
I thought so.
Duke thinks that. I don't know if that's true or not.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not.
It's just more of like a source from a heard from a heard from a heard.
Yeah, okay. So we don't know if that's true, but if that's, I mean, with that as in mind, then it doesn't make a lot of sense.
So from what I heard, it was a thing already, and then Netflix picked it up.
Right.
That's what I heard, but
yeah.
I could be wrong. So take it with a grain of salt.
Another thing I want to talk about really bad is those last 30 seconds. So, you know what I'm talking about.
You want to go to the last 30 seconds already?
Well, what else is there to talk about?
I mean, we could complain about the VIPs.
Oh my god! Oh god! They have the gay villain stereotype.
Yeah, they have the gay villain stereotype.
Yeah. So they have some
no
VIPs.
one fucking told us about.
Nobody mentioned it.
Every single thing that I have like heard or seen from the thing, don't mention any sort of fucking homophobia.
Yeah, it's super bad.
Like, it's...
Apparently it was a decade in the making before Netflix picked it up. Okay, yeah, that really answers that.
It's fucking blatant. It's like... Ugh.
But yeah, the fucking homophobia is awful. So basically, the VIPs, they're the rich people. They're coming in to bet on all this, which we'll get into, because that isn't...
Not only are they the rich people, but they are the rich, like, American people.
Yeah, they're mostly American. I think one of them has an accent, but they're mostly... They're all white. And they all speak English. Yeah. They all speak English, which is interesting.
Hey, Netflix. I know that your fucking like English dub was not dub sub English sub. I like your English.
They didn't subtitle the English characters.
Subtitle the English characters,
which was so frustrating.
Like, we listened to the Korean version and like. They have their faces masked. I can't lip read.
Right?
Their voices are distorted. I don't know what the fuck they're saying.
Yeah. But anyways, so the VIPs are just really, really two-dimensional, and not in a they're rich and they don't have a lot going on sort of way. Like fair, which is like fair enough.
That's fun.
That's fun. But no, there just isn't much going on with them. So the gay villain trope man. He makes a 69 joke 6 times?
Like 6 times.
Like 6 times.
Literally all they do is make a fucking 69.
When he comes in, he says, I bet a bunch of money on number 69 and they're about to die. No. And they're like, why'd you bet on them? And he's like, well, what can I say? Oh, it's a fun number.
It's a beautiful number.
And then later on, he's like, oh, I can't believe I lost that money on 69. I'm going to bet on 96 now. Why 96? Well, if I can't do 69, I guess I'll do 96. And then he just keeps talking about it. They keep repeating the same joke. And this is really weird coming from... Oh, I killed the bird. This is really weird coming from a show which has had really good writing up until now. It just seems weird. And it's not... Like, there's so much more that you can say with shitty, snobby, rich people.
Yeah.
There's so much more you can do with them. You can show them dehumanizing these people way better than just making a 69 joke over again.
For example, I actually thought of this earlier today. So, for example, they have... people that are acting as furniture.
Yes, the human furniture.
They have
which is
human
great,
furniture, which is fucking wonderful. I love that. It's a great commentary on like, oh wow, rich people like treat poor people as disposable, as furniture. That's sick. That's awesome. Well, it's not sick and awesome, but like,
no, but it's
good writing. Like it's interesting. It's a very
I love that. That's
a very
awesome.
Good metaphor.
Yes,
whatever.
It's very, very good.
They don't do anything with that.
No.
So like,
I mean, it works as a visual.
Yeah, but like, what if? In order to like show that they're mean or whatever, what if one of them gets fucking pissed about losing a bet and they fucking kick a human furniture?
Yeah,
like,
right?
There's so many things that you could add on to these things.
And it would give them more like interactions that are more just beyond that 69 joke.
Oh, hey, we didn't talk about why the guy's homophobic.
Oh yeah. Do we want to?
I mean, the police officer dresses up
As a butler.
and the guy is like, "Hey, butler, hang out with me," and then tries to take him into a different room to have sex with him against his will. Whoa!
Against his will, and then he's
Yippee.
like, he's like, oh, take off that mask. You have such pretty eyes. And then he's like, they'll kill me if you do that. And he's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Which, sure, whatever.
Sure,
but
critique, but on the other hand, like, come on.
Come on. And then he's like, if you satisfy me in 5 minutes, like,
I'll change
let
your
you
life
I'll
or
change
whatever.
your life,
like,
right?
dude.
Like, it's super gross.
It's super gross.
It's very, very gross.
The gay homophobic villain seems like a product of how old the original script is.
I don't know.
I don't know.
A lot of it feels fairly modern.
A lot of
Like,
it
I know
is-
the script has been old, but it's been rewritten so much.
God.
It feels like something they would have caught. They could have caught.
You could have caught this.
Yeah. But anyways, so that happens, and it's bad.
Sure.
All the rest of the rich people are pretty just kind of So I just wish there was more with them. You know what I mean? Like, I wish...
They're extremely uninspired.
Also, they're not rich enough.
They're
If that
not
makes
rich
sense.
enough.
So there's this one, when I mentioned, like, oh, he bet on 69, right?
Yeah.
He bet $1 million.
Just $1 million.
And the guys all react like that's a lot. They say, ooh, like, oh, you lost that much. If $1 million is how much he bet, that should be chump change for people of this level.
That's like nothing. That's
Like, they're giving away, we did the math, like hundreds of millions of US dollars. And if
Yeah.
he bet $1 million US dollars on one guy, that's chump
That's
change.
nothing.
That's pennies.
That's nothing. These are supposed to be like
Multi-billionaires.
the multi-billionaires, like the rich of the rich of the rich, the ones who can spend money on like.
Could that be a translation error? I don't think so, because they are pretty aware of, like, I don't know. I guess it theoretically could be.
No,
but...
the thing is if it was like 1 million won.
No, you know what?
Less even.
Yeah, no, that I think they're meaning like maybe they didn't know the currency rates, but
Maybe, but like.
I don't even think that works.
No, wait, it's in English. The guy was speaking English. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, I think they're saying the writers.
Oh, the writers.
Yeah, the writers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, but even then, it's not hard to Google, hey, what is the conversion rate? Like,
yeah.
it's not yen, it's won. This is Korean, not Japanese.
I said one.
No, they said yen. in
Oh,
chat.
my bad.
But yeah, another thing is, I mentioned they're not rich enough. They're also not, like, they're not important. And what I mean by that is, so when eventually the cop gets the rich homophobic villain guy to take his mask off. And I was expecting, and I would have preferred this, I was hoping / expecting a line where he goes, oh shit, you're so-and-so. Because I feel like if this is supposed to be a commentary on the multi-billionaires, they should be recognizable people. I think that makes it, I think that brings home the message more. And I think it is more effective at showing like, oh shit, you are like Senator this guy, right? Like,
you're Senator this guy, you're movie star this guy, you're president this guy.
Right? Like they should be important because
they should be huge. They should be recognizable.
Exactly.
Like nowadays, we see like, oh hey, Elon Musk, you know the fucking guy. Like the billionaires.
Also, Leo, I think you got your
multi-billionaires.
numbers wrong. $1 million won is not $900. $1 million won, you take 2, that's like $10,000. I'm pretty sure. Won and yen have a very similar conversion rate, so
I don't know. Google it.
I did Google it. Not just now, but I Googled it while we were watching. But yeah, there should be a Jeff Bezos. Exactly. That's what I'm basically saying.
The big ass rich guy. And then that would explain why they have these extravagant masks to hide their faces.
Hang
you
on.
know?
Maybe I did get the numbers wrong, but I'm pretty sure I didn't.
One-
10,000 won is $10. Oh, so it is 3 numbers off. Oh, excuse me. So I guess that would be $1,000. Goddamn. Oh, we did our numbers wrong then. Hold on, actually. If it's 45.6 billion won to US dollars. Oh shit, I did the conversion wrong.
You could just look up Squid Game.
It's $37 million. Okay.
Still, that's a lot of money.
Still a lot of money.
Hey, you know what also is like really Okay. Death Game. Death Game. Death Game involving like basically upwards 500 people. Let's just say.
Right.
For simplicity's sake. So Death Game rounded up 500 people per Death Game. At the end of the show, and also like in like this scene where they're like showing off the records
in the archive.
it's shown that this happens like multiple times.
Yeah, they're doing
possibly
this
multiple times, like a year.
They're doing it around because you can see in the archival room there is labeled by year, and you can see there's like 6 or 7 books per year.
So they're
doing this almost like bi-monthly.
Yeah.
And if they're doing it that like bi-monthly,
like every 2 months,
that's a lot of money to put out.
So
where is this money coming from? If they're only betting $1 million, that's not a lot. This is a huge facility. That's not a lot.
They have to feed everyone. They have to get all the fucking jumpers for everyone. They have to get all of the other stuff for everyone. They have to get the
fancy
facilities
clothes.
themselves. They have to get the facilities and stuff. They have to make sure that it keeps quiet. They have to pay for electricity, hydro, etc. Like, that's a lot of money.
It's the government. They don't say that explicitly at any point, though, is what I'm saying. I understand that this is stuff we can infer, but I'm having trouble with the fact that this story doesn't say it.
And especially since we have the police officer as a behind-the-scenes pair of eyes.
You'd imagine that's where the organ harvesting comes in, but it's not, because the soldiers and that are doing it and the workers explicitly are doing it under the table. It's their money. That's not where that's coming from. So it very clearly, the idea is that the super rich are funding it. They say at the very end of the show that the super rich guy was like, hey, we thought it would be fun, basically. It's just like betting on horses, is what he says. And so that means the super rich are funding this. Sure, I'm into that. But the rich people we see don't seem that rich. And that's my main issue, is I think they should be more rich. They should be more recognizable, especially if this is supposed to be a critique on capitalism, on the mega rich. Because when I saw those rich people, I didn't feel like they were multi-billionaires. I felt like they were maybe like multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
Which is not rich enough for this sort of message.
You know what they feel like to me?
Who?
This might be like a little like fucked up, but they sound to me, those guys felt like those millionaires who make like YouTube videos about how to get rich.
Yeah.
You know, they felt like motivational speakers or something.
Right.
They didn't feel like the ultra rich.
They didn't. How can somebody be more rich? Very easily. By being very, very bad person.
So there's like, they're obviously bad people.
They should be incomprehensibly wealthy.
Yeah,
The
like
thing
we
is-
have those nowadays.
Yes.
They exist. They're probably making their own fucking Squid Games as we speak. Like, there are millionaires, and then there are like
there are
like
Elon Musk's.
multi-millionaires,
There are Jeff
multi-billionaires,
Bezos's.
like Jeff Bezos's, people who, if you saw the amount of money they had, you could literally not comprehend it.
Oh, look more rich? I mean, like, again, in the amount of money they were betting and the amount of money it showed that they had. Like, again, that
And
one
the way
line.
that they carried themselves.
The way that they carried themselves. The only line they have that talks about how much money is that bet, where they say $1 million and then they react as if that is a large amount of money. That is our frame. And if they wanted these guys to seem more rich, they should have either upped that amount of money or shown more sequences where they spend a lot of money. That is basically what I'm getting at.
They should have a complete disregard for how much money they spend.
Exactly.
It should just, no matter how much they say, it should just be pennies to them.
It should just be, like, money should be completely irrelevant to them. They are just doing this for fun. And the money...
To feel something.
To feel something. The money they are spending should be incomprehensible to us. $1 million is not incomprehensible to me. You thought they were just pissed about not winning, not the money in itself? No. So in the scene, they go, how much oh, I lost, he's pissed. And they go, oh, how much did you bet on him? And then he goes, $1 million! And they all go, oh! That is the scene. That is how the scene goes, like, nearly verbatim. Going back a little, how's the game? Yeah, okay, so yeah, you're going back. This is another thing we had. So if this game is supposed to be super, super secret, because
500 people a year. Or
No.
500 people a match. Like, every
6
2
to 7.
months.
So yeah, let's say every 2 months, just for simplicity's sake. That's a lot of
That's
money.
500, 1,500, 2,500, 2,000. Like, that's a lot of
That's a lot of people. Exactly. So again, this is why I think that scene that they didn't have, where they should have been showing that the cops were paid off, would have been so important.
Like, on one hand, I feel like in another movie or something, they discuss how, like, hey, people don't notice, like, poor people missing, and I wish they had more of that.
Fair enough. Absolutely.
Because there's a statement on how, like, hey, if, like, a homeless person, this is macabre, but, like, if a homeless person dies, who's going to not care, but like who's going to like
who's gonna notice?
Who's gonna
No,
notice?
you're right. Like
it's gonna be sad, but like it
is sad, but it is the truth.
And I feel like they almost touched on that in one of the final scenes, but they don't.
Just don't. That's the thing. Go ahead.
No, keep going.
Okay, I was just gonna say they just don't. There's so many things that they decide not to touch on. And again, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. We can infer it as an audience, but because it is not text in the show, that is where my problem shows up. Because my inferences don't quite add up with what they showed us.
We all interpret things differently.
Exactly.
And if we just make like guesswork of something, I feel like if there is a second season, and they say otherwise, without it really...
Devilman Clyde, thank you.
Without really like...
Devilman Kylie, excuse me.
Without, like saying it, like we could actually like feel worse about
exactly. That's the thing. Like they're gonna make a season 2,
yes,
which I would prefer if they didn't, but that is how things go nowadays. And
I would actually like I genuinely want to say like I feel like no matter what, and I could be completely wrong here, and if I am, I'd be very happy. I feel like no matter what, the season 2 is not going to be good.
No, it's not gonna
be as good.
It's not. It's gonna be uninspired because that last script, like somebody said, was a decade in the making. This next one's not gonna be a decade in the making. It's not gonna be inspired. It's not gonna be the same. And that's just how these things go. But again, that's where our problem comes in. Where if they're not explaining these things in the context of the show, then where was it supposed to go? Okay, it's time. We have to talk about it. I mean, there's more to talk about, but like we have to talk about it. I can't not talk about it anymore. So our main character, Gi-hoon, I mentioned this earlier.
He wins the Squid Game.
He wins the Squid Game.
Congratulations.
I mentioned this earlier. He has this sort of he has a dichotomy between he is a good-natured person. He tries to be our good character, but when he is pushed into very stressful situations, very desperate situations, things get ugly.
In the first episode, I want to start with like, the first.
No,
episode
I think you're right. Yeah, go for it.
So in the first episode, it's shown that he lives with his mom. He is divorced, and he has a kid who is living with the mom. And it is the kid's birthday. It is his daughter's birthday. And he's supposed to pick her up dinner. Her favorite dinner is fried chicken, and he's supposed to maybe get her a gift. So he takes the money from his mom because he doesn't have a job, I don't think. No, he does. But he takes the money
He has a shitty job as a chauffeur.
He has a shitty job as a chauffeur. But he takes money from his mom, and instead of spending it on his daughter, he goes to the racetrack.
And he gambles it all away.
And he gambles it all away. No, he doesn't. He wins.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is he wins.
He wins.
And then he gets it mugged from him.
And then he gets it taken from him because he owes so much money and debt collectors go and beat him up.
Yeah. That's oversimplifying it, but that's the part that matters.
That's the part, yeah. So he loses it.
He loses
it. And he loses it because he was off gambling. So... He also, he did have a job, but he lost it to a strike.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but that's not important for what we're saying right now.
So, basically, instead of, getting his daughter, like, something good, he takes her out to a different restaurant than, what was wanted because he doesn't get her favorite food. He, gambles again by instead of buying her a gift, he goes to a claw machine and he tries to win her something, aka more gambling. He loses all of that, and he asks another little kid to get him a wrapped up present, which ends up being a gun, also a lighter.
It was a gun-shaped lighter, yeah.
So it's showing that, like, he's a flawed guy. This is our flawed protagonist. And since this is the first episode, the introduction of our guy, we're not really making judgments on him. We're just being introduced. We're going, hey, this is our guy. This is who we're going to be working with. We're going to watch him grow. This is who he is. This is what we're working with. Exactly. Yeah. So Squid Games happens. And he learns, he grows, sort of. So
he is constantly shown throughout Squid Game as a show to be, he's lighthearted. He's trying to bring people together. He wants the best. He keeps helping out Il Nam, the old man. He keeps helping him out when nobody else will. He is a good-natured protagonist.
He wants to help. He works with women
when nobody else will.
I know that kind of sounds shitty, but just work with us. He works with people who give him a disadvantage, and through that all, he wins. And
which is, it's a message on working together, et cetera, et cetera. It's obvious. I don't need to get into it.
Yeah.
So he wins Squid Game.
He wins Squid Game.
He gets all the money. He doesn't spend any of it. He's super depressed. He has super duper PTSD. His mom also dies. His mom had the reason he joined Squid Game is because his mom has diabetes and was gonna die.
Yep.
And so he goes. So he wins. He doesn't spend any of his money after his mom dies.
He's sort of homeless, maybe.
Yeah,
he's homeless.
It's implied he's probably homeless. And
wow, that was a very clean drill.
Yes, it was. So it's implied that he's homeless. And eventually, he gets a call from Squid Games. he gets their card. I'm gonna die. He gets a card from Squid Games. And it's Il Nam. And the big twist, super duper spoilers. The big twist is that Il Nam was the guy who invented Squid Games. This guy that he's been helping the whole time. This guy that he also, as we mentioned during the marble section, which favorite episode. He thought he
killed.
He believed he killed this guy essentially. And so first off, I think that this twist kind of takes away from the character a little bit because it's okay, he did these bad things, but it's not bad anymore because the guy was bad. Obviously it's more gray than that, but it's not as black and white, but I think it takes a little bit away, but more important is what happens next. So essentially they talk. He's like, hey, you gotta tell me why you did this. You gotta tell me. And Il Nam is like, I'll tell you if you play a game with me. There's a homeless man outside. He is going to probably freeze to death. If nobody helps him by midnight, I win. If somebody does help him, you win. And he's basically trying to be like, people are untrustworthy, is Il Nam's whole deal. So they do. And, time goes by and they're just watching from this window. Of
a skyrise.
Gi-hun asks a few questions, but they're ultimately unimportant, I think, for what we're talking about. We get a little bit of exposition. The gist of it is they made it because the rich people made Squid Game because it was fun for them. It was like betting on horses.
Yeah.
So eventually, the homeless guy, it looks like he's not going to get helped. Oh, it's midnight, and then boom, he does get help. Somebody comes and helps him.
Yeah.
Right as that happens, Il Nam dies, and our protagonist goes over to him and said, you see that? You lost. He did get help. People are trustworthy.
But the thing is...
So Duke and I have a different interpretation of this scene than I know. I don't know if this was intended or not, but this is how we saw it. He bet on a life. He is now super rich. He has all this money, and he bet on a life just then. And he says he wins, but really...
He lost.
Il Nam wins because he bet on... Our good character protagonist bet on a life.
He didn't go out and help the homeless guy, which he could have done.
At any point.
He didn't, leave. He stood there and he decided to bet on a human life. Because when he won... He literally has this look of triumph on his face, and he's like, "Hey, look, I won. I did this." And I mean, Il Nam is dead, but
he feels triumphant.
But he feels triumphant.
So
that's the thing.
That is how we interpret it.
The endorphins from winning a bet, and that bet was on a human life that he could have been saving instead, because he has a lot of money now.
He has a lot of money. So now after this scene, he gets a haircut. He dyes his hair red, which has some meaning, I'm sure, but I couldn't be the one to tell you what it is. I'm not that good when it comes to color theory. Maybe it represents rage. He's angry at Squid Games. I don't care. But he bet on a life.
And he spends his money.
And he starts spending his money. He buys a nice suit. And then in the following scenes, he ends up doing good things. He pays back his debt to so Song-woo, the sort of other protagonist / antagonist, he's the second to last survivor of Squid Games. He pays that guy's mom's the debt that he had to that guy's mom back. He helps the child of
Sebyuk.
Yeah. Helps the kid out. And it looks like he's doing good. It looks like he's a good person,
Yeah.
right?
Like he's actively doing these good things.
And we should clarify, earlier in the season, or in the very first episode, when he wins his money, he starts just giving it to people.
Yes.
Right? He gives a tip to one person. He gives a tip to another person. But the core there is that he is being flimsy with it. He has no responsibilities. He's not following his responsibilities. In these scenes, he is doing his responsibilities. So these are fundamentally good things, I would argue.
He does what everyone asked him to do before they died.
So in the next scene, he's gonna go see his daughter. It's the next year. He's gonna get her a proper gift.
Which he promised.
They're on the phone in the scene, and he's like, "I love you so much. I can't wait to give you this gift." It's mirroring from the very first episode what happened, right? So it is like a perfect mirror.
It is a perfect like 1-for-1 recreation
Yes.
of it, except he's now successful.
Except he's now successful. So what happens is he sees somebody with a Squid Game doing the Squid Game scam, the same thing that happened to him, where they're trying to basically get somebody to join Squid Games. And he goes over. He's like in a blind rage, and he's like, "Oh, fuck you!" And then the guy's gone, but the other guy won the money, and he's like, he takes the card from him. He's like, "Don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare!" Right? So far, I'm with it. He's against Squid Games.
Sure.
So after a bit, he takes out his phone and he looks at the card, and then he walks down into the airport. It looks like he's going to go see his daughter, and then he just stops. He takes his phone out and he calls them, and we go, "Oh God, is he going to go back to Squid Games?" And then he ends up telling them a bunch of shit, like, "How could you do this to innocent people?" It's another like sense of, yes, our character has grown.
He says, like, in reference to his earlier conversation, he says, "I'm a human, not a horse."
Yes.
Which is like a huge thing because uh-oh, you're poisoned.
Yeah, I'm dead here. It's fine. So it's a big moment, and then he turns around.
He abandons his daughter.
And then the show ends.
This is the second time that he has basically abandoned his daughter in order to gamble his life.
So we don't know. Now we should say we don't know if he's leaving to return to Squid Game.
That's kind of what it's...
But it seems like it is. So there's a number of ways you could interpret it.
Yes.
Maybe he's going to go on a revenge quest, right? That's one way you could argue it. And I mean, fair enough. I would want to go on a revenge quest. But it doesn't make that clear. You could argue with the red hair. If that does symbolize rage, that's the sign of the revenge quest. But he turns around and he abandons his daughter. So despite the fact that the show has been showing that he has been doing good things this whole time, he abandons his daughter.
Yes.
Out of his own choice this time. No desperation. Out of his own choice.
Which he almost solidifies him as a bad person.
It does. It doesn't matter if he is going for a revenge quest. You could argue, oh, he's giving away his personal wants now for, to help his daughter for that. But he is abandoning his fellow person. He's abandoning his daughter now.
Also,
for his own personal gain.
Yeah, and not only that, I genuinely feel like this, in a way, almost spits in the face of the other people who died. Because they all, like, there are many scenes, especially near the end, where they all talk to each other and they go, "Hey, if you win and when you get out of here, what are you going to do with the money?" And they all have plans. And fucking Ji-hoon's entire thing was, "Oh, I want to be a better father." And
well, it was to save his mom, really.
It was to save his mom, but he keeps saying, "Oh man, I want to be a good dad." Like, that was the active, like, component of his want to continue in Squid Game. And it's abandoning that.
Yeah,
what is the message
it
that's
seems
supposed to
backwards.
convey?
Exactly. So my biggest issue is I don't know what our character's motivations are anymore.
Yes.
That is the biggest issue. From like a narrative standpoint, I don't know what he wants to do. I don't know what it is trying to say about him. I don't think the show is conveying it very clearly.
I want to say this was all shoehorned into like the end of the last episode.
This is literally the last 30 seconds.
The talking to Linam, the Ilnam, the talk to like the talking to the Squid Games guy, like all of that is like in the last little section, and I would kill for like another episode 2.
Yes,
it explores like what is going on in his head, what is happening, what is motivating him, what is the drive to do all of these things.
Exactly. I don't want another season.
Yes.
I want them to cut the epilogue out of the last episode and make it its own individual episode.
Yes.
So let's say, okay, there's a couple ways we can take this, right?
Sure.
Let's say our interpretation is right. He bet on a life, and now he is spending his money. He is going to become the rich, maybe.
Sure.
That's one way I think you can interpret it. If that is the case, they need to show him being more frivolous with his money. In the scenes where he's doing his duties, maybe after that, he starts doing nicer things for himself. It starts out simple, but then he starts, buying more frivolous stuff. It starts to spiral. You could do that. If you want to make it a revenge quest, do anything. I don't know. I feel like they didn't do anything to make me believe that. Like a lot of people in chat are saying that's what they thought was going to go on. Like they thought he was going to try and stop Squid Games. But even if that's the case, why abandon your daughter at that?
Why abandon your daughter?
You can go and stop Squid Games at any point. This is ongoing.
This has been going on since 1999.
Yeah, you can do this at any point. But he abandons his daughter. And I think the abandoning of the daughter, the mirroring of the first episode where he is a bad person, or at least through his desperation, he is doing bad things. Because I think this show is probably trying to say that there are no bad people, whatever, except for the rich. But if that's the case, they are mirroring this first episode where he made the wrong choice. He made a bad choice.
The thing is like the first episode, again, it's the first episode is a point where you're not supposed to judge the character. Well, you can, but like this is like pre-character development character.
Yeah.
And him, after going through everything, is reverting back to this thing, and it feels like everything was for nothing.
It does. So some people in chat are saying, he says something to the effect of, I will destroy you. They also tell him to get on that plane.
Yes.
So his daughter wouldn't really be safe either. I don't know how much I buy that.
The thing is if he went back on the plane, he would have been safe, and his daughter would have been safe. He's jeopardizing his daughter.
Yes.
Because
the fact that they know that he's going on a plane to see his daughter literally means nothing, because we've already seen that they know everything. They have eyes everywhere.
Sure.
That doesn't really mean anything. We already know they're probably keeping watch of him. That doesn't really mean much.
It doesn't.
So yeah, I have problems with those last 30 seconds. I feel like it, not only, like, there's ways you could, like, the thing is, it could work. The rest of the story surrounding it doesn't seem to fit, at least message-wise.
So,
it seems like whiplash.
Can I talk about the idea that I had for it last night? So last night, I came up with like sort of an alternate. Obviously, like blah blah blah. What's happened has happened. But I feel like a good way to have almost exactly everything, but to make it feel better by the end and still be somewhat sequel baity, is having it so that everything's happened. He's going onto the plane. He has the card in his hand. He looks at the card and he opens his phone, and that's the credit.
Yes, you don't see the phone turn on. You just see him pull it out.
Turn on. The phone is out. What does he do? What is going to happen? These are all like interesting, like mind energizing questions.
Yes.
It doesn't make you feel empty. It doesn't make you feel like he's lost things. It's more like, oh, will he like get the allure of Squid Games?
Then you get to leave it open for sequels. You get to do all your fun Netflix stuff. You can still but then it's open to the audience.
It's open to the audience.
It's open to the audience, and it's an interesting ending. It's an interesting open end, because this show has a lot of uninteresting open ends. A lot of ones where it's like, I wish you just kind of answered that.
Yeah.
That would have been a great way to end it. Just literally cut out about a minute of footage.
Just the last few lines of dialogue. And I feel like it would have still cut to that desperation moment, because he's obviously desperate for something. Is it his family? Is it revenge? Does he have any meaning to his life anymore? Like, is he just a broken shell of a man? Like, does he not
exactly
want that
like
stuff
what is
anymore?
going on with him?
Has all the fighting and killing and death changed him? Like, those are genuinely okay questions to ask.
And those are reasonable things to explore in a sequel. But also, we have to remember that we don't want this to be a sequel.
I don't want it to be a sequel.
Neither did the author. And this was meant to be a single thing. So if
this was meant to be a single thing, why the fuck did you fucking
edit that way
so strong?
Exactly. So if you want it to be this open-ended ending, but still be like on its own thing, that's what you can do. You can end it like so the audience can infer what they want to have happened. They can make their own conclusions.
And it's a strong ending.
No matter what. And then
happens.
Netflix can come in and tell you to go make your sequel. It all works. Also, I didn't get the Jedi, so I'm gonna restart.
You didn't.
But yeah, that's my opinion on that. I think it's a very bizarre scene. I think it kind of goes against what they were just showing.
And it feels empty.
And it feels empty. And if they wanted to, like, if they did want him to go back and abandon whatever they wanted to do, they just didn't show it. I don't know his motives. And that's my main issue.
Because again, the entire rest of the movie was so good and so well motivated, and you could see like what's going through all of these characters' minds, and that's fun. But it just felt like they kind of skimped out at the end.
It did.
And that's like one of the most important pieces.
I agree, because the last episode of any media is what's going to leave you with that lasting impression.
And now, sadly, part of our lasting impression is going to be, what the hell?
Right? What movie we're talking about the show Squid Game. But yeah, so very, very, very unhappy with that ending.
Again, if Netflix was like, hey, we want a season 2, probably before I started like filming everything or whatever. If I was someone who was planning on making maybe a 2-season thing, I personally would have cut all of the stuff that involved the police officer.
Yes.
He is the weakest link. He's kind of frustrating sometimes, but catch this.
That's fine. I don't really care about winning in this. I just want to talk.
Fucking Gi-hoon, protagonist guy, our main character, wants to go on a revenge quest. What if he was the one who infiltrated?
Yes, so
he's got so much motive and all of this cool stuff going on. Like, what if he was the one who took us behind the scenes? What if he was the one who ended up killing guards? And what if he was the one who like leaked all of this stuff? Like that would be
so much
cool.
better. Yeah,
like,
if they just took out the cop story from the entirety of the first season, if they wanted to make this a 2-season thing, they could have had that be entirely a secondary, like a second season plot point. Like, it would have been awesome.
Season 1 could have been entirely Squid Games.
What if we didn't go behind the scenes at all in season 1?
Yeah.
Like, what if we didn't see that stuff? And then season 2,
we get to finally see
Gi-hoon is going behind the scenes to do his revenge quest plot. Then that's when we get to see it.
And now we know what the character's drive is. We know what the character's motives are.
Exactly. And also,
will he get back to his daughter?
And it explains, it gives reason for all the kind of like stupid decisions that the cop makes. For example, like the leaving the doors open and the being just generally unprofessional and a shitty secret agent.
And also, on the other hand, I feel like Gi-hoon could have had a much better chance of surviving all that because he's seen what the guards do.
Exactly.
He knows what's up. He could have been better at being like one of the circle head guards or whatever.
Exactly.
Like, that could have been very interesting.
Very interesting.
And we could have seen like, hey, it could have left a lot of answered a lot of interesting questions like, hey, why does this happen? Well, season 2, this is what happened. And these could have like combined into like this very interesting like, oh gosh, like here's another sorry, give me a second.
Point of view?
This is another point of view, but also like this is another section talking about like the horrors of capitalism. This is why like workers don't unite and why workers turn against each other.
Exactly.
Whoa!
It would give
going
us
into his whole backstory. Of being like of doing a protest and one of his friends dying.
Whoa! It's almost like it works. It's almost like it makes a lot of sense. And it also like it could give us that like experience we asked for like earlier when we were talking today about like telling us more about the workers, how they chosen, et cetera, et cetera. Like give us more information on this world because there are loose ends to this world that don't make sense right now. This is where they could explain it. You can double ride turkeys. Yeah, you can hold one while riding one.
Okay. Oh no, I was gonna say something.
What?
Oh, I lost.
Oh no, it's lost.
No, I lost my train of thought.
That's
Fuck.
okay. I'm sorry. Double riding turkeys is really
Double
distracting.
riding turkeys really fucking got me. Hold on, I'm gonna take a
Yeah, drink some water. I want to press again that we liked this show. Like,
it was so much fun. I recommend it.
yeah, I think the first half of it was phenomenal.
Yes.
I think it started to lose steam near the end.
The thing is like you say that, but also see like episodes like the marbles episode.
That's not where. No, I didn't get back to that point.
end.
No, I'm
Like,
saying the marble wasn't that close to the end.
was
That's
pretty close to
that was like the last really good episode. I feel like.
Yeah.
So the place where I think it started to lose me was when the VIPs arrived.
Yes.
Because I didn't like the VIPs,
Yeah, the
and
VIPs just
everything
sucked.
after that kind of got weird.
They weren't rich enough. They weren't evil enough, which sounds really weird for rich evil guys who are.
The environment matched them. Like I loved the environment with the human
environment was
furniture,
beautiful.
but they didn't really.
They did.
do anything.
So, I have a genuine question. I don't know if anyone can answer this. Like in like foreign films, when they have like, do they maybe they had issues like directing English speaking.
That could
like,
be
people.
100%. That could be the issue.
That could be the issue.
That would
Because,
that would be very that would be very eye opening.
Because
that's
I
the
mean,
issue.
shit, like lots of stuff gets lost in translation. I could not imagine like trying to direct people and like, you know, of any other language. Like I'd have issues like, how is the natural inflection? How do you sell this thing? Like it could be very rough, and it's something that you do like grow with. And like, I mean, that could be the genuine issue.
Yeah. If the guy said they lost $10 million, would that be rich enough?
I mean, it's
Maybe
getting there.
It's getting there, but my
But then
issue is
again,
that they
it's-
didn't, right? I'm not saying, oh, this could fix it. I'm saying they didn't do enough, right? Like the way they could fix it is pretty simple. My issue is that they didn't. My fix actually was to have them be, instead of going, ooh, that's a lot, was for their reaction to be, oh, that's not so bad.
Oh, that's it?
That one line
Uh-huh.
would fix a lot.
It would make it very powerful because $1 million, like, you know, is a lot.
Exactly.
Like, oh shit, if you got $1 million, that's like
That's life-changing.
That's life-changing. That's all your rent. That's like
How much would be rich enough?
Food.
I've already said this. Incomprehensibly so. We can't comprehend it. Mega rich.
Mega rich,
Come on, y'all. Y'all talk about Elon Musk and stuff all the time. Practice what you preach. You understand what I'm trying to say here.
come on,
Come on.
comrades.
Come on, comrades. Come on.
But oh god, what was I saying?
Basically that, yeah, like if they were just, I don't think there should have been a scene where they said, ooh, that's a lot of money. I think exclusively their reactions to the money should have been, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
Because like no matter what the number is, the number doesn't matter. The reaction is what matters. And like, well, the number matters a little bit because it's too low. But like what I'm saying is they're not rich enough. They care too much about the money.
They care too much about the money. They shouldn't care about money at all.
They should.
That should be what conveys their amount of richness.
Right? Like they're gambling absurd amounts just for the bragging rights of having that much money that they're betting like that much. But it's not actually because that they care about the money that much.
Also, we talked about this earlier. There's only like what 5-6 VIPs.
Yes. Okay, that's another thing with this world. So there's first off,
they
they're
all have
called,
their own custom little fucking helmets and stuff.
they are called the VIPs,
The
not just
VIPs.
VIPs. Some VIPs, a few VIPs. They are called the VIPs, which leads me to believe they are the only VIPs. So if they're the
they
only,
have to be the ones funding this shit.
exactly, and if that's the case, then this world makes even less sense because they don't. Again, that would be more like reason why they should be mega rich, why they should be Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos types. It should be losing the bet and not about losing the money. Exactly. But yeah, I have problems with them as characters. I don't think that they really, because I know what the message. The problem is, right? I know what the message of this show is.
Yes.
My issue has nothing to do with that.
It's
My
the way it
issue
conveys it.
is the conveyance of the message. Exactly. Because there are issues with how it is portrayed. And this is going to sound a little weird. I think that people have overhyped the anti-capitalist message of it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's there.
It's definitely there.
I don't think it's as good as people
Again,
argued.
Okay. Do you want to talk about the actual like scene where like near the end and they're betting on the homeless man?
Yeah, sure.
Because like you said they'd Rick Sanchez.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
Sanchez.
yes. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. So in that scene, the old man is basically giving their reasons for why they did Squid Games.
Yes.
And
Did you just?
yeah, I killed the dog by accident. They're talking. The old man Ilnam is talking about why they do Squid Games, and he's doing this whole spiel about how people are untrustworthy and that like blah 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 blah. He says a bunch of shit, bunch of head ass shit,
Yes.
and it's doing the Rick Sanchez thing, the Walter White thing, where he is wrong. He is definitely wrong. And I'm pretty sure the show means for him to be wrong. And I think that that's what the "you lost" meaning is that he was wrong, right? That's what it's supposed to be interpreted as, I think. But when I was watching it, I literally just looked to Duke and I said, I'm certain so many people have Rick Sanchez this scene. And what I mean by that is just like, people are gonna take what he said at face value. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, people are untrustworthy. People are just like betting racehorses. Whoa, 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 right? Like,
Yeah.
whoa. You don't think them acting like douchey frat bros is the big issue with the VIPs? Yeah, no, I don't either. Like, I just think they need to do more with it.
They mean, even okay.
And they did. Was I right? Did people Rick Sanchez him? I fucking knew.
Oh god damn it.
I fucking knew. I told you they would.
Yeah.
100%. It's because the show trusted the audience too much to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Ilnam is like Rick Sanchez 2022. I mean, I'll stand by it.
Also, it is a twist.
It is a twist.
Was the twist needed?
Yeah, I said this earlier, but I feel like the twist takes away a little bit from our main character.
Again, this okay, so with our Okay. So fucking Ilnam was the only character that our protagonist actively killed.
Yes. And that is huge.
That's huge. That is a fucking turning point, and they did nothing with it. I feel like I feel like it was a cop out, going like, actually, he was the bad guy all along.
So
because this was an active choice.
Yes, it was his only person he killed, and that takes it away. And then also,
because it was desperation.
It was desperation. And then also, this is another thing they didn't touch on in the show. He then vilifies Sang-woo for doing the exact same thing, essentially, for pushing the glass worker guy.
Yeah.
In the glass bridge challenge, Sang-woo, they're running out of time, so Sang-woo just pushes him.
Yes.
So they can get along with it. And
that's supposed to be the turning point where,
he's so evil. How could he do this, right?
Bad and stuff. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's the turning point where he becomes Gi-hoon. Sorry, I'm getting the names confused. Gi-hoon's villain.
Yes.
Antagonist, foil, whatever you want to call it.
Yes.
And it doesn't add up to me personally. Or it does, because I can totally see that as a character motivation. I totally can see it.
Sure.
And I can see it as him hiding his own shame for, basically killing Ilnam.
But it doesn't show.
It doesn't show. And here's the big thing. If we trolley problem this.
Oh, so you're gonna take my trolley
I'm gonna take your trolley problem. Do you want to say it? You want to say it?
Trolley problem. You guys know the trolley problem, right? You pull the levers, one side 5 people die, and the other side 1 person dies. So there's a second version of that trolley problem, because a lot of people will be like, hey, I want the 1 person to die instead of the 5 guys. But there's another part of the trolley problem where wow, that guy just fucking bungled. But there's another side of the trolley problem where you ask, okay, there's the trolley, there's the trolley tracks, there's 5 people on the tracks, and there's 1 fat guy on a bridge with you right over the tracks. If you push the large guy, it'll save all of the 5 guys. It'll muddy up the wheels, and
but it is the act of pushing, so less people do it.
So less people will do it. But it's technically the same action.
Exactly.
You're just more involved. And I feel like this was just more involved. Like, the old guy, at the end, technically gives Gi-hoon the marble and is like, oh, here you go. So it's technically not killing him. But
he was tricking him the whole time.
He was tricking him the whole time, and he killed him. The old guy was gonna win.
So and the worst part is, and you mentioned this too, this is another observation from you. By the way, Duke is so fucking good at observing things in movies and shows. Hi, I love you. Another thing that Duke observed is, if we trolley problem this,
yes,
then Sang-woo had to do the push. And Sang-woo saved himself, sure, but also 2 people behind him.
Yes.
Whereas
it was saving the collective group.
Because Gi-hoon, thank you so much, Blaster. Hold on,
Blaster donated $3. This song is from Blaster Master Zero.
Ooh, I love Blaster Master. Because
please enjoy.
Because Gi-hoon, I turn this down a touch. Because Gi-hoon didn't have to actively kill the old man, he just took the marbles. He was doing the lever, so he was doing the arguably easier thing, but he loses. It's the same action, and he helps less people. He's just helping himself. It is a selfish action. I can't breathe. It is a selfish action. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's. So it is an active choice, and by making Ilnam actually secretly a villain, I think it takes away from that. I think that was his big turning point for me as a character to show what he is willing to do under desperation. And I feel like they pull that away a little bit. It takes away. It doesn't completely get rid of it because the scene still exists. And for him, he thought that's what is happening, but it doesn't really matter what he thinks because ultimately the trolley problem is about results. It is a mixture of morality and results. And to take the results away damages the meaning, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
It was the one guy he killed. That should have been something interesting because like you could be like, oh well, he killed other guys. Well, think about it. The red light, green light. Those people died. He just survived. With the
they died to
gunfire.
Yeah.
Like it's not his fault.
He didn't push them into.
He didn't push them into gunfire. Blah 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 blah. With the tug of war, they were trying to actively like kill him.
Yeah, the other team was trying to kill him too.
It was trying to kill him,
and that was also saving everybody else who's pulling the rope.
Saving everyone else, but also everyone was responsible. Like,
it wasn't his choice.
It wasn't his choice.
It was something he had to do.
And also the way that he did it in a somewhat scummy way of lying.
Yes, that's also like that adds to it.
That adds to it.
Not only did he get the old man killed, but he was like tricking him and using his dementia against him.
And the old man knew it too.
Yes, that's the heart-wrenching scene is when he's like, "You've been tricking me this whole time, and I knew about it, and that's very fucked up of you to do." And yeah, it is fucked up of him to do.
Kind of it.
And that was like it was a lesson, but then they just don't do anything else. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my thing. Froggy, thank you for the $5.
Froggy donated $5. This is my first stream W. A lot of Duke in it, and his voice is so relaxing, and I'm so engaged in your discussion already.
Thank you.
You guys
This
are
is
very
why
cool, and I hope to catch more of your streams in the future.
Thank you. Duke streams
Smile.
on his own channel, by the way. So if you would like to see more of his lovely, relaxing voice, you can go see him over at Duke of Ash. And also, I might have fixed his computer problem, so maybe the streams won't crash anymore.
Maybe the streams won't crash anymore as much.
As much. But anyways, yeah. Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. And Duke does have a very relaxing voice. Did you donate a song with that? You did not. Well, Froggy, thank you so much for your generosity, regardless.
It's very sweet.
Yeah.
Made my day.
Aw.
Wait.
It was very sweet. Yeah, I'm glad it made your day. And this is why I want to make a podcast out of this. Because not only is this a fucking engaging conversation.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, I'm a little biased because you're my husband, but I'm engaged in this conversation. I'm also engaged to you. Well, we're past that. But, actually, technically, we never got engaged.
Yeah, technically. Uh-oh.
Whoa. Yeah, Duke and I got married without ever being engaged. We skipped that step, but we're gonna get remarried, and he's gonna propose to me down the line. Eventually. One day. But anyways, that's our story.
That's our story.
It's our story.
Our little silly non-Squid Game story.
Non-Squid Game story. It's not important. By the way, if I was ever in Squid Games and they made us play a marble game and one of us had to die, I just simply would leave Squid Games.
Just say no more thank you.
No more thanks. I don't want to play. You know what they could have done, I bet?
What?
I bet if they held a vote during the marble game, because there was so many people who were distraught there, they probably could have gotten the games canceled.
It's so funny. They only held the vote like twice.
Yeah. Like, because one of the rules is if the majority votes to cancel the games, it gets canceled. And if somebody had just spoken up and be like, hey, what if we hold a vote? I'm pretty sure everybody would have been like, yeah, okay, let's call it. Let's call it. This is a bit much for me.
But then again, it goes to the whole desperation thing.
Exactly, right? And you know what? I'm glad they didn't do that. I'm just saying it as a funny thing. Like, that would have ruined the message for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a great episode, and I'm glad they did it the way they did it. I'm just saying, like, from an in-universe perspective.
From a little hee-hee-ha-ha joke.
A little hee-hee-ha-ha joke. Get this monkey off of me. But yeah. So, like, again, overall, I like it. And like the show. And I have all these opinions about it because I feel like it could have been more.
Also, fucking Zebia should have won.
Yeah. I mean, it was never gonna happen.
Her.
They had to nerf her with a glass shard.
They had to get the random like, oh, I got hit by a random glass shard. Oh no, now I can't win for like any chance because she would have
won. She would have kicked so much ass.
She should have. She should have won.
Like obviously, it was never gonna happen.
Oh, obviously not. But like. It should have.
That's one problem I have with the death game genre is you can always tell who's gonna win right away.
Yeah.
Like, and like I get it because on one hand, like it would be unsatisfying to just kill off like your mainest character.
Main guy, yeah.
But at the same time, I get it from early on. But
for sure,
I should say that the winner of the death game is not the important part of the genre. It's It's about the characters and blah 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 blah. If you can pretend it happened and see Sebyuk and Ji-young are married.
They're married.
Oh yeah, Ji-young, yeah. I mean, they were lesbians. Here's the thing, is
there's lesbians in there.
First off, yes, there's was some lesbians.
But also on the other hand,
I'm so glad they didn't, because I don't trust them after what they did with the gay villain man.
With the gay villain, yeah.
I'm dead.
Oh.
No, I'm fine actually. I made it.
Oh, good.
I am down to 2 health, but I'll live.
Oh, that's smart. That's a good bomb usage.
Thank you. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking done with this. Oh, it's up here.
Oh, hey.
I don't know if I've ever seen it this side.
Hey! Cat!
Thank you, Sharkwaves!
Sharkwaves donated $5. Just been chilling and Minecrafting while I listen this. This has been very nice to listen to.
Oh, thank
you.
We should do that podcast.
I would love to do that, but yeah. Should I drop the name? Because I have a name for it.
Oh yeah, you do have a name for it. Do you want to drop the name for it?
I'm really happy with it. The name of our future potential movie review podcast is called The Outlet.
Mm-hmm.
So, so as to be an outlet for me to talk about movies.
Yes, for us to scream into the void.
Yeah, The Outlet. The logo would be like a power outlet, I think, with like maybe one, like, you know how they have like, they look a little bit like faces?
Uh-huh.
I would think one face would look a little bit like you and one a little bit like me.
That'd be so
right?
cute. Yes.
And then it could have little like electric marks going around
That'd
it.
be adorable.
Little like artist, like cartoony little lightning bolts.
I'll try to eventually design it.
Hell yeah. But yeah, that's it. I want to call it The Outlet.
Uh-huh.
Because I think that's a cute name.
Absolutely.
It's an outlet for us to talk about our movies. It wouldn't be a regularly scheduled podcast. It would be whenever we watch a movie, we would record
and we have thoughts about it.
And we have thoughts about every movie we watch, let's be honest.
Fucking Jumanji 2.
We had thoughts on that. We talked about that for like 2 hours.
Did we?
Yeah. We just hated it.
Yeah.
We didn't even finish that movie and we had thoughts about it.
We sure did, huh? God, that was trash.
Yeah, that was bad. But what was I saying? Oh yeah.
Just whenever we
watch a movie, we would record ourselves watching it and then just talk about it after.
Yeah.
What are people saying sucks?
Jumanji 2.
No.
I think so.
Oh, it's not representation. Yeah. No, obviously not. I mean, I'm not gonna like none of that was representation.
None of that was representation.
Yeah, no, the gay man and I don't know if you guys are talking about the gay villain man or if you're talking about the 2 girls. Like, I say they are lesbians in the same way that I like people will say that about like fucking every single piece of media that has ever existed.
Yeah.
Like, to clarify, I'm not a shipper or nothing. I just thought that they were cute, and I like to say it. But I'm not saying that they were legitimate.
No, that
representation.
was
God,
absolutely not representation.
No,
at all.
God. We're talking about how okay, you're talking about in general. Media is inclined to include lesbians solely because straight men think lesbians are hot. That's true.
Yeah, and it's very sad. It's on one hand, it's very good that there are like queer people getting their fucking shit, cause like Cartoon Network, like oh god, who was it? Rebecca Black almost like just quit because Rebecca Black, the
Rebecca Sugar, you mean?
Oh my god, Rebecca Sugar. Sorry.
Rebecca Black is the singer.
I'm so sorry, Rebecca Sugar. I'm horrible with names.
Oh, that's so fucking funny though. Rebecca Black.
God, I'm so sorry.
No, that's so
There's
funny.
There's egg on my face. But she almost fucking quit because they wouldn't let her actually put like fucking
her gay rocks.
Yeah, her gay rocks.
Yeah, no, I mean Rebecca Sugar did so much heavy lifting for queer representation in Cartoon Network and just in the animation industry in general.
And now we've got cool shit like Craig of the Creek and stuff.
Yeah, which is made by Ian James Courtney, I believe is his name, and that's Rebecca Sugar's partner.
Oh, that's sweet.
Awesome Boskin, yeah, thanks. But yeah, no, I absolutely. You know what? I like Steven Universe.
For sure.
I would never discuss Steven Universe.
Absolutely not.
But I do like it, and I see it for the importance that it has.
Yeah.
So to Legend of Korra. I'm sorry. We're not going to talk about it. Legend of Korra did not do as much. I'm sorry. But yeah, we're not gonna talk about too much about that. I don't wanna get into discourse.
Today's a Squid Games day.
Today's a Squid Games day. What else do we have to talk about? Like, what else is there?
Oh man. You want some dinner?
Oh my god, yeah. Is it still in the oven? No, it's out of the oven. Oh, thank god. Yeah, can you?
I think I did.
Come bring dinner out. Happy Squid's Day to all who celebrate. Oh, that was clean. Right down. One bomb. Beautiful. That was beautiful right there. But yeah, I'm glad you guys have enjoyed us just like talking about this. We just do this all the time. About every media we've ever watched. Like The Matrix. Holy shit. I have complained so much about The Matrix 4. I don't think I've ever hated a movie as much as I hate The Matrix 4. I know I haven't hated a movie as much as I hate The Matrix 4. But that's not what today's about either. It's been a nice, chill, cozy stream. Yes, it has been. It's fun to talk about this sort of stuff. And I love to stream with my husband. So all's well that ends well. The fact that they had to make the rich dude's identity matter sucked. It's not that they had to make it matter. It's the way they treated it. It's the fact that they made him. I don't feel like it's even an identity. It's not an identity. It's he did sexual assault. That's all it is. It's a trope. It's a stereotype about gay men. It's not an identity. It's a stereotype. You just finished all the Matrix movies and you have so many synapses firing about that series? Oh, me all the time. I love the Matrix trilogy. Oh, baby. Glad they never made any other ones. Hi, my husband just brought me dinner. Did you bring me a soda pop too? Sure. Thank you. Oh, the rich dude being Il Nam. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about the homophobic gay man. Yeah, I mean, there's so many rich dudes in this show, so you have to specify. But yeah, Il Nam's identity mattered. Yeah, I think that just that twist takes away from our main character's journey a little bit. And another thing is they made him. Oh, this is another thing I said when I was talking about Rick Sanchezing him, which they apparently did, which makes me feel justified, but also so sad. Mm-hmm. Another issue with that is they make him sound like he's smart, right? Like he's so smart for figuring this all out or for doing this or setting this all up, whatever. Whereas
it's like he's enlightened.
It's like he's enlightened. Thank
but
you.
No, he's a fucking asshole and he's
exactly.
Rich.
He is the exact same as the other rich dudes. Mm-hmm. He's a villain. Except they make it seem like he's enlightened, and they that's why he ends up getting Rick Sanchez, because they made him sound like he had it all figured out, even whether the show wanted him to be right or wrong, right? Anyways, I want to watch Sweet Home with you.
Okay.
Yeah, Sweet Home. I've been talking to Duke about this. It's another Korean show that has been getting some popularity lately. Fucking incredible monster designs. Just some of the best monster designs I've ever seen. Just so good. Whoop, dodge. I didn't dodge.
Hey, cat.
Glassdorf, thank you for $3.
Glassdorf donated $3. Eat your greens.
Thank you. But yeah, I think Sweet Home shares a lot of characters. I think it shares a few actors with this one, and that's why it reminded me of it. Oh, this is bad.
It's very dry.
Yep, we're eating a pre-made frozen shepherd's pie. It's not very good. Mm-mm.
It's edible though.
It is edible, and it has a couple flavors that I like in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's goopy.
It's very goopy and dry.
Yeah, goopy and dry. Normally I make gravy with this to make it a little less dry. For other Death Game Netflix Asian shows, Alice in Borderland is decent. It's if also not perfect. Yeah. They never are perfect.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so I want to talk a little bit more about my hot take. And this is not like a serious thing. This is just a little opinion I have.
Which hot take?
The one where I don't think that people who are sensationalizing Squid Games necessarily are missing the point.
Oh, sure.
So, like, I'm not trying to defend Mr. Beast. Obviously, Mr. Beast is the most famous person who remade Squid Games. A lot of people are doing it. They're making it, oh, I made Squid Games in Minecraft. I made Squid Games in Project Zomboid, whatever. But, I think, Mr. Beast obviously misunderstood the point of it. And I don't like Mr. Beast. I hate Mr. Beast deeply, actually. Sure. But in general, I don't think that these people are necessarily missing the point, because death game is a genre. It's a genre like superheroes are a genre. And it's not like every death games usually are about kind of the same thing. Like, a lot of them are about this sort of content, you know? A lot of them can be read in this way.
Sure.
And
you're allowed to sensationalize.
We've already made games about death game genres. You ever played Fortnite?
You ever played Danganronpa?
Right? Like that's where these came from. It's the same genre. Literally, the reason battle royale is a genre is because of a fucking death game movie that came out like in the 90s. The people who are missing the point is the people who think it's actually about socialism. Well, yeah, those people are missing the point. But those people miss the point about everything, right? Essentially what I'm trying to say is people who just like talk about Squid Game for the aesthetics and for the games, I don't think is necessarily a bad thing, because it is eye-catching and the games are cool, and I could see why you would want to do that in a game, you know? Like, I can see that, because at the end of the day, it's a game, right? And if something can translate well into another media, or a medium, excuse me, then I get why people are going to do that. Mm-hmm. But again,
Squid Game.
Squid Games.
I do have to say, some of the memes I've seen are very just weird taste, though.
Yeah, like what? I haven't seen many memes about it.
Remember that one scene where they're all like doing I forgot what it's called, challenge, but you know, it's the sugar and
the scraping it out, yeah.
The scraping out the sugar shapes.
Yeah.
There's one scene where fucking Jihoon's
It's
Gi-hoon, sorry.
It's okay.
Gi-hoon's fucking butt is out. Well, his
he's
like
his butt's like backing
and people were so fucking weird about it. Can you guys be normal for half a fucking second?
That's completely expected, honestly. Yeah. I'm not surprised. It sucks, but I'm not surprised.
God.
Gary's Mod Death Run. Actually, Gary's Mod invented Squid Games.
Squid Games? How old's Gary's Mod? If it's older than 10 years, they can sue.
You see, the people who made Hunger Games and Minecraft are missing the point, actually, /J. That's exactly what I'm saying, Katie. You just summed up my entire point, actually, in one, like, sarcastic comment. That rules.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. That makes, if I want to say this again in the future, that really makes my life a lot easier. Thank you. That was very well put. Mm-hmm. Katie is a slime.
But yeah, just like, the message can be there and you can have fun with it. Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Squid Game's message is as strong as it, like, as people interpret it. Like, it's no Parasite. You know what I mean? Where Parasite was all about that, and I want to see Parasite.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I know what it's about because of cultural osmosis, but, like, Squid Games has an anti-capitalist message, without a doubt. I think people have been overhyping it.
Sure.
I mean, the message, not the show. The show is good.
The show is fun.
Yeah.
I feel like possibly, overhyping the message could be people who are reacting very hard to people who are making them into like fun games. Because I feel like on the internet, the internet like culture, I guess, is when a person says one thing.
Wait, I may find a similar problem with Parasite. Oh, really? Actually? Oh, shit. That sucks.
Cool.
Like I said, I haven't actually seen it. Just cultural osmosis.
I feel like with the internet culture, if someone says one thing, you will find someone who says another thing, and they will say the other thing as hard as they can.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, like, you could say, you know, like, I don't know, grass is green, and they'll say, grass is red. Not only is it red, it is the reddest red that is ever red. And then other people will go, actually, it's so green that it's blue. And I feel like that's kind of how the internet is.
It's just how the internet is nowadays. Yeah, I can't find the exact words for it right now, but it's
black and white.
It's black and white, and it's also just it's about extremes.
Yep.
And I have been on the internet for so long. I grew up on the internet, and I have seen its evolution. I understand what's going on with the internet.
Sure.
I don't have the energy or maybe even the vocabulary, at least not right now, to explain what has happened to the internet. But at the same time, we all get it.
Yeah.
We all know.
Grass is actually a rock?
Streamer, grass is actually, it's actually not green. It is actually colorless, but we just see color on it because of the way light bounces off of it. But actually, colors aren't real, so, streamer...
God. I'm gonna get you.
That sounds like something somebody would actually say, right?
It does.
Just be contrarian.
Just to be contrarian.
Contrarian, that's...
Contrarian.
Woo, good word to use for this.
That's a good 3-point word.
Yeah. Being right doesn't make you right. Being deluded makes you right. Yeah, kinda.
I blame.
Grass is problematic. Google monocultures.
Boo. Air is liquid. God, stop. Yeah. I blame YouTube.
There's a funny thing I've discovered as well.
Sure.
As like an offset of it.
Sure.
Where people, like you said, it's always black and white. People have to be contrarian.
Yeah.
And I've noticed a lot, as a person who has a fairly decent sized like community, you know?
Sure.
I got a decent amount of Twitter followers. Hyperbole is like the devil's work now. I use hyperbole a lot because it's fun. And every time I do, every single time without fail, if it is a post that goes anywhere, somebody goes, well, actually, that's not true at all because this, and I'm like, yeah, I exaggerated to make a point. Like, people do that.
It just happens.
It just happens.
It's part of like human language.
I know.
Because like everyone compares shit to other shit. People use like extreme words because it's fun.
It's fun, and it conveys your energy towards it, right? Yeah. Anyways,
man,
that's not Squid Games. We're just. Do we have anything else to say about Squid Games?
If you're in Squid Games, how far would you get?
If I was in Squid Games, I would have died on the first one because I have not so great balance, and I would have tripped.
Yeah. I got bad knees, and I probably just buckle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about why a sequel sucks. I mean, this is, like, everybody knows this, but obviously it betrays the message a lot. Also, like, with what you said, how are they gonna, like, do it and make it interesting?
Okay, so there's I feel like there's two directions that you could go. Either you redo Squid Games. Like, fucking Gi-hoon goes back and gets initiated into Squid Games again somehow, ? And like you go through maybe new games, new versions of the games, new children's games. Maybe it's a different aesthetic, maybe it's something else, but it's kind of, it follows the same like kind of steps of Squid Game,
Right.
Or it's like a revenge mission and you go and you fucking kill, and it doesn't really follow the strengths of the original Squid Games.
Or because like that seemed like, because a lot of people said that it seemed like he was gonna go try and stop Squid Games, and if that's the case, that doesn't really fit the tone of the show. So like, what's going on? Another thing that they could do, which you also have mentioned to me before, is they could just do a new Squid Games. Everybody's new. Nobody's is there anymore. Nobody from before is there. It's completely new people. And then that would just be awful.
Yeah, because you're just retreading the same idea.
Exactly. Like what? Like there's not much you can do that's new at that point, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
He buys a licensed Funko Pop of himself Stop.
What if they just got super meta for a sequel?
That's
Don't say it's the Matrix 4. Don't say it's the Matrix 4. Don't say it's the Matrix 4.
That's Matrix 4.
Fuck you! I hate the Matrix 4 so fucking much.
I know you do. I love it.
I hate the Matrix 4 so fucking much, guys. I can't stand that fucking movie.
Uh-huh.
Another Squid Games, but another cop infiltrates, and he's also that dude's brother.
It's my twin.
Oh, hi, Gilbert.
It's like the same exact actor, too. And he's like, my twin brother went missing, as well as my other brother. Let's fucking go. Oh, that'd be beautiful. It's just exactly the same.
One of Squid Game's influences a manga called Liar Game. Neat.
Ooh.
It's Metal Gear Solid.
Stop.
Does Gilbert have opinions about Squid Game? Yeah, he likes it when there's lots of colors.
He doesn't even know what colors is.
He's pretty stupid.
He's pretty dumb. We love him. He doesn't even know how to count.
He doesn't even know. He's only 3!
He plays children's games and he fails at them.
Squid Game is actually meant for Gilbert because it's all kids games and he's just a little baby.
He's just a little baby.
Oh my god. Okay, nitpick time. This doesn't really matter, but nitpick time. They let so much. There is not very good surveillance at. Actually, this is more than a nitpick. This is world stuff. There's not a lot of surveillance in, or like they're not very careful in Squid Games. Like as far as the staff go.
Sure.
Like that one person is able to sneak in a knife. Cool. She's a pickpocket. I get that. The other person sneaks in some cigarettes and a lighter. Sure. But then like they start using the lighter just out in the open and nobody stops them.
Yeah.
And they like there's a lot of stuff that just happens and they just let it happen. And
because they're all like, oh, this is a even battlefield and
Right.
everyone gets like equal stuff. But they let a lot of shit
slide
like, all the time.
And they just I don't know if it's supposed to be this super secret organization. They don't. It just doesn't feel very like well kept. You know what I mean? Like, and I talked about that already today, but. Yeah, stuff like with the person just using the lighter out in the open. Like, she was under a slide at first, and so you can say, oh, she was kind of hiding, even though there was a guard literally right next to her. But then after that, she gives it to the thug guy, and then the thug guy uses it, and then he's just literally out in the open.
Well, he eventually hides under the slide, but you don't ever see him move to it.
Yeah,
it's just kind of like
that's
an
right.
off.
But he uses it out in the open. At one point.
does.
He does. So, I don't know. And I'm also with the unfair advantage thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure that if we looked into it hard enough, I don't have anything right now, but I'm sure if we looked into it hard enough, there would be a bunch of holes in that too.
Oh sure. Like the knife. Also, they say this is a fair advantage, but are they really put like older people, like older, probably disabled people. Actually, no. Fucking Ali was disabled. He was missing a finger. He was missing 2 fingers.
He's missing 2 fingers.
That's technically disabled.
Yeah.
And you're putting him up against fucking able-bodied, like dudes, guys in their prime. You're putting fucking moms against
like that's not even
fucking
field.
guys in their prime. Like technically, if the games weren't about strength, you could hypothetically say like, you know, it's even. But all the games were guy games where like well, not all of them, but like a lot of the shit was like strength.
It was a lot. It was very strength based, a lot of them, or like endurance based. I don't know. There's holes.
There's holes.
Ow!
Squished. Got squished.
Excuse me.
Oh god, she's dying.
It's kind of the capitalist version of even playing field. Yeah, that's fair.
The game's rigged anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Like I said, this was nitpicky. This isn't huge.
Oh, extremely nitpicky.
Yeah. Bar. The thing that I do care about though is the world doesn't feel super real to me. It doesn't feel very grounded a lot of the time.
Again, the thing is they had episodes where they really grounded.
Right? There's some where it feels great and then some where it doesn't.
Yeah. Also, I see you, fucking Benny. Get out of here.
I also gotta ask, like,
Hey, girl.
and this is a genuine ask. I'm not like dissing on the show at this point
Sure.
or critiquing even necessarily.
Sure.
So the frontman's whole speech about how the Squid Games are supposed to have an even playing field for everybody.
Sure.
What's the message behind that? Somebody suggested just now maybe like the capitalist idea of capitalism pretending
So,
to be even for everybody.
He says in the thing, like, oh, they have it, like, uneven and bad out there. Therefore, this is the place where they have, like, an even chance of winning.
So it sounds like he's saying out there is, because out there is capitalism.
Yes.
So he's saying this is not capitalism?
No, he's just
But
saying
he's
they
not
have an
saying
even chance of winning.
Right.
Because I don't know, they have the odds stacked against them outside there.
I guess.
Which
I don't know.
you could say is capitalism. but,
Yeah,
like,
I don't know, there's a lot of ways you can interpret it. I feel like you could misinterpret it, and then
you could definitely.
like I can see why people misinterpreted it to think it's all about socialism with that line.
Sure.
I don't agree, but I can get it.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's just what he's trying to say, but it's a bold-faced lie? Yeah, fair enough.
I mean,
It doesn't come off as a bold-faced lie.
out of
though.
everything, it was supposed. It was a means of control.
Yeah, as a means of control. You're right. Iron Man, thank you for the sub. Again, this was not like a critique. This is just genuine wondering what they meant, what the implication was there.
Sure. It's interesting. I just found out when you I just spooked Grillbert by scratching his butt. He's lying down behind our chairs, so don't roll. His tail's right on one of your tails.
The front man is the believer of the propaganda and also an foreigner of it. That's yeah.
That's actually very interesting.
That's a very good read, and I like that. I'm into that. It also explains why he's the brother, and yeah, no, I'm into that. I'm sold on that interpretation. Yeah.
Sure.
I should also like really stress that this is all interpretations.
Yeah.
Art can be interpreted a lot of different ways.
Uh-huh.
I have seen a couple people say it is this with like 100% confidence.
And also, like, the thing is that we are looking at this
From a Western
through a
point of
very
view.
Western
Yes.
lens, like a American Canadian.
There is a
like,
cultural
lens.
barrier there. There is stuff that we won't understand to its fullest extent.
Which is fine, which is
Yeah,
good.
absolutely.
It's a different fucking culture, but like it's just something that we're not gonna fucking fully
Something we have
grasp.
to keep in mind.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so this is all just this is all just interpretations ultimately. And it's important to keep that in mind too.
Uh-huh.
When the Squid fucking games.
When the Squid Games. But yeah, it's interesting. Again, fucking had a lot of fun watching it,
Yeah.
especially with you, darling.
I love watching things with you, except for The Matrix 4.
Except for the Matrix 4 and Jumanji 2.
And Jumanji 2. Oh my god, we couldn't even get through Jumanji 2.
Do you want to just take like a quick
Yeah,
sec?
please, let's talk about Jumanji.
It's so racist.
It's so racist. Like Jumanji was already
Jesus.
like racist, but like
Yeah.
it was racist to the in a way where like I don't know, I could bear it.
It was less blatant.
It was less blatant, and I could bear it. You know what I mean? Like,
'Cause
there is a
it's-
level of racism, I think, that
That is very inherent in a lot of Hollywood movies.
exactly, and it's
And
like
you just have to kind of
you have to
go
either
with
make the choice to abstain from it or recognize it and move on.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do that with Jumanji 2. It was bad.
Fucking
Jack Black.
So in Jumanji 1, all of the kids get their own characters. And so like kids play as like different characters. So like one of them's like The Rock, like the nerd kid becomes The Rock, and then one of the like the
Oh, sorry, Jumanji 2 as in the second modern one.
second modern one, yeah.
Sorry, continue.
So yeah, in Jumanji 1, like one of them becomes The Rock. One of the girls becomes Jack Black. And Jack Black does a pretty good job.
He does. I actually really like his performance as, what is it, Bethany?
I think it's Bethany.
I think so. No, they did a pretty good job there. I like Jack Black's performance as Bethany.
In Jumanji 2, they okay, so there's that. There's
Fridge?
Fridge but who did he play as?
Oh, I don't know the actor's name.
Ah, shit.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. And then there's
Jack Black always nails it. Well, Furiash, just wait for us to finish.
There's an addendum.
Yeah.
So in the so the main thing was like the main Kevin Hart. Yes,
Thank
it was
you.
Kevin
Thank
Hart.
you so much.
Thank you. So Kevin Hart was Fridge, and then I forgot what the other girl's name was.
Oh god, I have no clue. The nerdy girl.
Nerdy girl was the one lady who
Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillan. Yeah. So so there was like those 4 people. They mix it up in the next one by introducing the nerdy kid's grandpa
and the grandpa's friend,
Grandpa and the
quote
grandpa's
unquote,
friend.
who I stand by was absolutely like
was
an ex-lover
absolutely
in an earlier version of the script.
Yes, but
But it ends up they were business
they were
partners.
business partners.
Yeah,
They were
okay.
business partners.
They were business partners.
But,
Okay.
okay, the business partner becomes Kevin Hart.
Instead of Fridge.
Instead of Fridge, the grandpa becomes The Rock.
Danny DeVito becomes the Rock.
Danny DeVito becomes The Rock.
That's a good sentence.
The girl is still the girl.
Yeah, still Karen Gillan.
Still Karen Gillan. And Fridge goes in and he is Jack
Black.
And Fridge is
He's black.
Is black. He's an African American actor. And Jack Black
It's not.
is not. And my god, he does the most racist impression I've
Ever seen.
ever seen. I have
It's so
ever
bad.
fucking seen.
There's even a scene later on where Karen Gillan briefly plays Fridge.
And it's not as bad.
It's not as bad.
As
She doesn't
bad.
do like the accent.
Oh,
She doesn't do
God.
this like the misused is it AAVE or is it AV? I'm sorry, I'm white. I don't know how to say it.
Oh god.
Um,
But yeah.
African American vernacular. She doesn't really use it as much.
really use it as
She's
much.
mostly taking on the characteristics and physical attributes, like way she carries herself. She's still bad.
She's still bad at
The
it.
black scent that works.
But
I'm not
like-
gonna say that, but
Oh.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
it was really bad.
And like so the way that Jack Black interprets this character is like constantly yelling, lots of like arm hand movement, and it's so incredibly uncomfortable that we couldn't watch the entire
couldn't
thing.
finish it.
We literally started skipping through it, and then every single time Jack Black started talking, we're like, okay, we can't do this. Okay, we can't do this. And then we just turned
We eventually
it off.
just turned it off.
It was awful.
It also was just paced terribly.
It was paced horribly, yeah, but like, oh my god, it was just so bad.
Like it wasn't just like it was racist and also just like bad in every other aspect too.
Yeah, but like the racism really killed it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the reason we stopped watching.
Uh-huh.
Jumanji 1, fun movie. I like that movie. I should say new Jumanji 1. I haven't seen the original one yet.
We should watch it.
I would love to.
It's different.
Yeah. It's but yeah, I liked the new Jumanji 1. It's not a good movie, but it's a popcorn movie. And I can respect popcorn movies. I can enjoy them.
Sure.
And it's
They're fun
it's
trash.
It's fun. It's fun trash.
Second one, nope, never watch it. Don't ever fucking touch it.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch
Apparently
it.
the ending was ableist too. Awesome.
Cool, love that. Not surprised
Yeah.
at all.
You thought new Jumanji 1 was new Jumanji 2? No.
No, sorry.
It's like a reboot.
It's awful. But yeah. The Robin Williams one, that's the first one.
Yeah, that's the very
old
first one.
That's the elderly one.
But yeah, not good.
Uh-huh.
Not good. Didn't like that movie. Couldn't finish it.
Uh-huh. I can't believe that got past today's fucking shit.
Right?
Really?
Like-
No one?
I think what it was is they said, well, Jack Black, we tested the waters and you played a lady. We can have you play a black character
do
now.
whatever.
And I'm sure that we can just do whatever and get away with it now.
The thing is that someone had to direct that. They acted through it, and someone had to edit it, and someone probably had to look over it. There's producers.
Oh, yeah.
And they all fucking greenlit it.
Everybody greenlit
And that
it.
is very telling about our society, I say as I put on the fucking
Joker.
makeup. Yeah, it sucked. Anyway, let's talk about something
Yes,
else.
please.
But like,
Do we have anything else to say about Squid Game? I think we
Squid
kind of
Game.
covered most of our thoughts on the matter.
the thing is like, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they let a lot of characters shine.
Yeah, they gave a lot of
I feel
moments
like-
to a lot of characters.
I feel like the tug of war segment actually shone very well
Yeah.
because they had a lot of characters playing their strengths.
That was fun. I love the tug of war
That was
scene.
very fun. I liked the way it was edited together, where
you know what?
Ilnam was like explaining it and they were doing it.
And the funniest thing is, we complained about that exact same thing in the Matrix 4 because they did it poorly.
Yeah, but it just worked.
They did it well. That's like a way you can do it, where they explain the plan while they're doing the plan. That's like a trope, and they just did it well.
And they just did it really well.
Matrix 4 just did it so poorly. I can't stop talking about the Matrix 4.
I know. I'm sorry.
We're gonna have to do an outlet episode on that.
Well, that means we're gonna have to rewatch it, my love.
And that means we're gonna have to make the outlet.
Which is gonna be a lot of work. It's gonna be worth it.
It's not gonna be that much work, I think. The nice thing about the idea of it is it's something we already do, and we're just gonna we're just gonna monetize our real life.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love monetizing.
As we need to do in this capitalist society is monetize every single facet of ourselves that we enjoy. Yippee!
I love Squid Game, by the way.
I love Squid Game, by the way.
I love you.
I love you.
But yeah.
So yeah, I feel like that was a good time when they showed off like the powers of all the characters.
And yeah.
Where like everything worked pretty well.
I also feel weird about Ilnam, everything he said, considering he's actually just like a shitty rich guy.
Sure.
Because at the end they're like, well, what's true? And he's like, I did live with my wife and stuff. And like his stories were very like nice and sentimental and made you grow to the character. It almost feels like they're giving pass to the rich character a little bit.
Yes, I made Squid Game, the death game where thousands of people die a year. But I'm old and I'm cute. I'm a cute old man.
Regardless of if the show wanted him to be right at the end or not, like that's
they made him relatable.
They made him relatable.
Gilbert, for the love of God. Hi, baby, you're gonna jog on over and act like you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. His eyes are so big, he's innocent.
He's innocent.
He's
big
innocent.
eyes. Overruled.
Baby mode overruled.
Baby mode overruled.
But yeah. Oh God, who haven't we talked about?
Who haven't we talked about?
Minya. The fucking asshole.
The bitch, yeah.
The bitch.
We have our little notes here of all the characters.
We have. I jotted down a few little notes of like stuff I wanted to talk about.
And we have her labeled as the bitch.
As the bitch. Because she's the bitch.
She is the bitch.
Actually, like, even though like in the show and stuff, it's like, oh wow, I hate her. I liked her character.
She's fun.
I liked her character. She was fun. She was an asshole. She was loud, and I liked her weaponized femininity. There's your fucking little like catchword for the fucking.
Yeah.
I liked her weaponized femininity. She weaponized her sexuality by basically buying her way into like the tough guy group using like sex. She tried to weaponize her femininity and like she weaponized her quote-unquote perceived weakness when in the beginning she was begging for her life because she's like, oh, I have a kid and I haven't even named him yet, and like blah 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 blah. Like, she was lying. And that's really cool because she was weaponizing the feminine like archetype of, you know, like, oh, like she's gotta like have kids and stuff.
Yeah.
And she weaponized that and she did a good job. Go girl boss go.
Go girl boss go.
Asshole. I hated her.
Oh yeah, fucking hated her. She's so great.
She's great. But yeah, it's really cool because I feel like to that extent, a character like that isn't really usually that explored. Oh my god, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
But she was really good. She was a great character. I hated her guts in a very good way.
Yeah, they did a good job making a hateable character.
She was literally the gaslight gatekeep girl boss. And that's good. That's fun. I enjoyed the way that she weaponized her stuff. I'm glad that she got her fucking comeuppance at the end, but also her revenge.
Yeah. It was a good way for her to go.
It was a great way for her to go because she went out on her own terms.
Which is what she's about.
Which is what she was about. But also like in a weird like revenge way that still very much fit her character of like, she's tough, she's like kind of crazy, but like also like she was able to, even to the end, weaponize her weakness because the guy didn't perceive her as a threat. She weaponized her like girlhood and she like fucking held on to him and leaned back and fucking won the Squid Game except in death. Yahoo.
Also, I think, and I just kind of realized this, and it's super minor.
Sure.
The leaning back, I think, was a minor callback to the leaning back from the tug of war, because she was the one who said, "Oh, I loved feeling so strong when I leaned back like that."
Yeah.
And that was the exact move she did. She did the lean back to pull him down.
Yeah.
That's a neat little callback there.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that just like clicked for me.
Mm-hmm. I adore shows that can create a very hateable but enjoyable character instead of just making a bad character you actually hate.
It's a skill.
Yeah, because like the thing is,
like light Yagami.
The thing is that I feel like they captured it in a good way, that she is also a desperate character.
Yes.
She's not in there because like she just wants to be an asshole or something.
Like this is how she's survived, you can infer. Right? Like, this is how she has survived in a cruel world. This is a show about desperate people and what people who are desperate are willing to do in the world we live in.
Yeah.
And, you know,
in order to get ahead.
She's realistic.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, she's good.
I mean, she's also overplayed. She's
yeah, absolutely.
Somewhat almost like a little like campy, but like in a fun way.
It's a fun way, yeah, and that's not a problem. And there's a few campy elements to the show, I think.
Sure.
I
mean, it's a giant fucking child.
Exactly. There's a couple. There's one or two campy elements to it. I think I maybe thought of a couple, but yeah, no, absolutely.
It's good. Liked her. She was great. I hated her. She was awful.
To her credit, she's incredibly consistent in doing what she has to do to keep moving forward. Excuse me. Yeah, exactly.
Girl boss.
Girl boss. Again, she does what she has to do to survive, and you can tell that her character's been doing that for a long time, and it's been working.
It's very interesting because, even though some of the views in the show are fucking regressive, it's interesting seeing a character utilize that.
Yes.
Like utilize, I guess, like quote unquote her place in society, you know? Because even though there really aren't any like quote unquote like feminist characters, obviously, but like
I mean, there's the badass.
There's the badass, but like I feel like she goes more into like the silent badass character rather than I feel like it's like she's one of those almost like despite her feminine stuff, she's a badass.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's a fair.
Not in like.
No, I get it. It's like a regressive trope. I gotcha.
It's a regressive trope.
I gotcha.
Like,
no, it exists.
Yeah. But still good. There's a lot of tropes in the movie too, but like that's just part of writing.
That's just part of writing.
I'm not gonna fucking dump on anyone for that.
I have a little issue with Gi-hoon's characterization.
Yes.
So he felt a little bit wishy-washy at times.
Yes, I agree.
So I understand that there is sort of two sides to him, a yin and yang sort of situation.
Sure.
Where, you know, he's a good-natured person and but when he gets desperate, he gets very desperate.
Sure.
It felt like the jump to desperation was very quick for him, and he would get like that very quickly. And I don't know, it just felt sudden. Yarn Girl, thank you for the 100 bits. You haven't seen Squid Game, but you're loving listening to us both talk about it. Thank you.
I recommend watching it. Genuinely.
It's very much worth the watch.
Even though, like, here's from my perspective. Even though I was spoiled from like a lot of memes and stuff, I was still able to go in there and enjoy it. They handle tension extremely well, and we are not talking about like a lot of deep character moments that drive the show.
No, we're not talking about the stuff that's like worth watching. Also, we're mostly critiquing it, where like like there's good stuff to be had that we're not really talking about.
You could listen to this and then go back and still like very much enjoy the movie or not the movie, the show. But it's so fucking good.
It's very good.
It's very fun, especially if you want to watch it with someone. This is a show to talk about.
It's a show to talk about for sure. I mean, that's why it's gotten as big as it has, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's funny. Last night I was talking about like the philosophical and messages and moral messages in the movie, and I was like halfway through saying to Duke, "Wow, I can understand why people talk about this show so much." Oh wait, they don't talk about it because of that. They talk about it because it's
because
Squid
of the
Games.
giant red light, green light child.
Fair enough.
Wow.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, oh wait, that's not what people are talking about.
Yeah,
Oops.
wait a second.
Oopsies.
But it's good. It's fun. It genuinely is a blast.
Also, Chad is complimenting your burps, darling.
Thanks.
Of course.
It's
Wait, I don't know why I said of course. I didn't compliment your burp. It was a nice burp though.
It's dinner.
Ooh, yum, it's dinner. Don't mind if I do.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Sometimes Duke burps in my fucking mouth.
Yeah, lovingly.
He burps in my hair all the time, too.
Well, to be fair, it's usually when we're spooning.
Okay, but that doesn't make it better. You burp in my hair, and then my hair absorbs the smell and it stays there.
You want me to face away? I have to move? That's gonna just move more gas. I'm gonna burp more.
Oh my god, yeah, but you're not gonna burp in my fucking hair.
I love you.
I love you. That burp sounded like a Kid Pix sound effect.
Genuinely considering selling, like, burp noises.
You could be a burp Foley artist.
I could be a burp Foley artist.
Especially because you can burp forever because of your probable hernia.
My probable hernia.
Oh, hey, an alien.
Yeah.
That's rare.
Oh, little guy.
Yeah, so fun fact, we think Duke might have a hernia, and
I
that's why he
might have a
burps so much.
It's fine.
We laugh to cope.
I mean, the good news is that
It's not serious.
It's not serious, especially
that is
on
what
its
it
own.
is.
It's fine. I can't believe Sophie has poo-poo hands and now burp hair.
I don't have poo-poo hands and burp hair. I don't have poo-poo hands and burp hair.
You kind of have poo-poo hands and burp hair.
Don't have poo-poo hands and burp hair or Squid Games.
You don't have Squid
I don't have Squid Games!
Game with your fucking Xbox.
You had no idea those were related things? There's excuse me. There's a type of hernia you can get. Where essentially, not to get nasty, your stomach, I guess, like, pushes up into your esophagus. And it creates, like, air. And it makes you burp a bunch.
And also rib pain.
And also rib pain.
Which I got.
Which he
really
got.
bad.
But luckily, it's not, like, super serious. But it is something that we need to get treated eventually.
Eventually.
If that's what it is. Again, we're sort of self-diagnosing
We're
because
WebMDing
we're
this
WebMDing this right now. But he's got every symptom, and it's the only thing that makes sense to
The
me.
problem is I am a man full of symptoms.
You sure are, darling. You've got symptoms, you've got them.
I got symptoms galore, baby.
Symptoms? He's got those.
It's all good though.
Yeah. He's safe.
Yeah, I'm safe. I'm fine. Don't you worry.
We got bigger things to worry about than a little bit of burps.
I love Ali.
You love who?
Ali.
Ollie! Yeah!
Precious, perfect, should have won. Amazing guy. I hope his wife and kid are okay.
Yeah, well, at least he got them the money to escape.
That's
Korea.
true. That's true. He got them the money.
Like that's good. Also, oh wait, never mind. I was gonna say they would have gotten the one from him dying, but no, that's only if they.
That's
end
only
the
if
games.
everyone quits.
Which, by the way, if they end the games, like they can vote to cancel the games, all that money gets sent to the families of the people who died, which means, like, that's more. First off, more like stuff that they have to cover up.
Yeah.
Like that's like
they basically sent like what, a debit card?
Right? They just like made a bank account, I guess.
Just made
in their
a bank
name.
account.
But also
like-
they would have to like, I don't know,
Okay.
they'd have to explain why all these families.
Okay,
get money.
imagine.
And then after those, okay, no, actually, yeah, imagine your family member disappears and then
your
you get.
dad fucking disappears one day. Like a week later, a month later, you get a fucking gold credit card with some fucking shapes on it, and
With like $100,000.
like
on it.
$100,000. What the fuck are you gonna do about
Right?
it? Like, hi, police. My dad died, and there's $100,000 in my.
Now, I think the idea is probably that nobody's ever voted to cancel them and without a majority coming back.
Sure.
So they probably never have actually had to do it.
Sure.
But, yeah. The dude who killed his wife would have gotten money. Yes. Yeah, Duke actually mentioned that like if the dude who killed his wife had gotten everybody to vote for them to leave, he would have gotten the money from his wife dying.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't mention that in the
Right?
show.
I feel like that was a
A
little
missed
missed opportunity. Yeah. It would have been a great thing for the characters to go, oh yeah, so you can get her the money that would go to her, because you're the family.
Yeah.
Like,
It would have sown more distrust.
exactly.
So, okay, interestingly enough, there wasn't enough distrust in this show.
I mean, they did have like a riot where
they did have like
everybody
a thing where everyone died, which is true. But I mean, like within like the main four, because fucking
within the main four, yeah, that it came out of left field when Sangwoo, stab.
Yeah, but like Sebyuk was literally like always like, oh, I don't trust people, but she didn't do shit about
She
it.
always says it, but she doesn't believe it. Although I think that might be part of her character personally.
That might
I think
just
she
be
might.
part of her, like,
she's
tough-
trying to,
tough
yeah,
gal character.
she's trying to defend herself, but she does want, some closeness. I think,
Yeah.
and I think that that's explored with the other girl whose name I don't know. That's the problem with this show. Is I promise, it's not. I don't forget the names because like they're Korean names. It's because they don't use them ever.
Which is interesting.
They never use
because
the names.
it's so
in it.
depersonalized.
It's probably on
and
purpose.
I think that is interesting because a lot of people introduce their names like right before they're killed,
Yes,
or like right near the end of the show.
there's definitely
Which is-
meaning to that.
Absolutely. Like the only two people that you consistently had the names of was like the two guys,
Our two protagonists,
yeah,
slash,
like
the foil.
Gi-hoon, which was like the protagonist guy who trusted everyone, and then Sang-woo, who was like the guy. He didn't trust people, but Gi-hoon kept telling everyone.
Yes, that was a
anyway,
thing. That
which was very interesting.
We learned all that information about Sungwoo because Gi-hoon was telling us.
Yes.
like he was constantly spilling the beans there,
Constantly.
telling everybody that he was a graduate and everything. Like,
Graduated top of his class.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, cool, interesting. But like, still, I don't know. I think it's very telling.
I think so too.
Uh-huh.
There's some interesting stuff to be said about that.
Uh-huh.
It's almost like this is a pretty good show, and there's
It's
a
almost
lot
like
of stuff
this is a
going
good
on.
show, and it's got good character interactions. Interesting.
The characters were the strongest part of the whole
Characters
show,
were
without
so
a doubt.
strong.
Except for that cop.
for the end.
And except for the end, yeah, there was just some weird stuff that happened here and there. That's the thing is because the final episode of a show is very, very important to me.
I
And
feel like it's definitely skews your interpretation of
it
the
definitely
entire thing.
And because of that weird backwards ending that we talked about, that kind of whiplashy ending, my total opinion on Squid Game, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Because that ending really took out a lot of the catharsis for me.
Yes.
That's the thing is there wasn't catharsis
There's
at the end of
zero
that
catharsis.
show. Like
I feel like the almost implied catharsis was during was when was what
That's okay, take your time.
was when Ilnam died.
yeah,
Because like that was when everything like turned around or whatever
for our character,
for our
but
character, except
except with our interpretation, where we're like, hey, actually, maybe Yilnam won there. We lose that.
not
We didn't get catharsis because of our interpretation of it. Is basically the end felt so almost forced. Yeah, it takes such a turn.
I agree.
Everything that they were doing.
Do you think that was
spin around?
now? Do you think that was Netflix literally holding a gun to their head, going like, "Hey, we want a sequel"?
You know what? I theorized that when we were watching.
Yeah.
And the only reason I didn't bring it up is because, we did bring it up briefly, but
was because
the
the writer didn't want.
because they didn't want a sequel.
Yeah.
And as far as I understand it, this existed and this has been worked on before Netflix took it on. So I don't know.
It's just the end was just.
It's
so
not a good
weird.
end.
There's so many loose strings, and they're not fun loose strings.
They're not.
interesting loose strings.
They're just loose.
They're just loose, and they're kind of. It's like an itch that was not scratched
Exactly.
by the end.
It's
And
a
so
lack
you're
of
just-
catharsis.
So you're just sitting there with that permanent itch. It stinks.
It does stinks. Netflix has a trend of doing making endings that are unsatisfying or really open-ended to entice people to stay subscribed until they make another season. Yeah, absolutely. And if it turns out that Netflix influenced the ending, I would not be surprised. In fact,
Absolutely
it would
not.
answer a lot of questions.
It wouldn't make me feel better about the entire show, though.
No, it wouldn't. Because there are still issues with the show that I don't think are Netflix's fault.
Yeah.
Unless Netflix wanted the entire cop character to be made. But if they've been working on this show for like 10 years, I don't think they would have a twist as big as the frontman's brother being like just Netflix, something Netflix threw in.
Yeah.
So that
Because they said that.
thread that I didn't like feels like it's an original thread.
Because they said that the frontman was inspired by Darth Vader. I mean, up to like
Yeah,
the
so the-
costuming and like the "oh, I am your father, I am your brother" type.
Yeah, so that means the author wanted that character in.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that whole section, so.
So, I have a problem with TV shows.
Yeah, go for it.
I feel like what we said with like, oh hey, there's like a lot of shows out there that have unsatisfying endings.
Right.
I feel like there's so many shows like that. Or like season 2s that just aren't as good as season 1.
The Good Place.
The Good Place.
Yeah.
I'm talking a lot about The Good Place.
Yeah,
but,
The
like,
Good Place is a really bad example of that. Well, a really good example.
A really
of that.
good bad example of
Yeah,
that.
unfortunate example of that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because The Good Place has an incredible first season, and the rest of it are just fine.
The first
Not
time I
bad.
ever watched it, before I knew Sophie, nice fucking save there. The first time I watched it like without Sophie, I got so fucking pissed. Like,
Oh, that was on me.
I'm sorry, darling.
That's okay.
Well, like it just stinks because, like, when you have second and third seasons that are just a shadow of the first season, it hurts. And like, especially with like long-running shows where The Simpsons or whatever, where you have like, you know, like a really strong start and it just putters out by the end.
Dear
because
the
it's, like,
industries, let things end.
let things end, please. Thanks. Not to sound like an old fucking person, a fucking Tumblr user or whatever. The fucking
Same
Sherlock thing is a good example. Because like even though like the it all sucked, the ending was so bad that it retroactively made everything else suck more. You know? It's just sad.
It is very sad.
Like
A lot of
endings-
shows have that sort of unfortunate end.
Is it the need to have a twist? Is it the need to end things off in like a weird way?
Do you want to hear a really funny story that is really fitting for this?
Please.
The show How I Met Your Mother, it was a very long-running sitcom.
Yes.
And the gist of it was a dad telling his kids the story of how he met their mom.
Sure.
And the whole series is that story.
Sure.
And it ended up being very long, and it was in development for ages. And partway through, they realized better directions for the characters. So the main character, Ted, was a fucking annoying little fuckboy.
Cool.
He was a little incel fuckboy, and we hated him.
Cool.
And the mom was supposed to be this chick called Robin. And in the very first season, they're like, "That kids, that's how I met your mother," and like it shows her, and then you get to see, you know, how they get together or whatever.
Sure.
But partway through, they realize, hey, these guys aren't a good match.
Okay.
You know who she is a good match for? This other side character we have.
Oh yeah.
And so they do this amazing thing. They change their minds, and she ends up marrying. His name is Barney, and
dinosaur.
yes, the dinosaur. He's played by Neil Patrick Harris, and it's the only good thing Neil Patrick Harris has ever done. And they do a really good thing. Neil Patrick Harris's character in that was he was a fuckboy, but in a different way. He wasn't incel-y. He was like he fucked women all the time, and he was constantly having sex.
Cool. Love that.
Yeah, and basically what happened is he fell in love for the first time with this Robin character.
Sure.
And he has this thing called the playbook, which it's this big thing he always talks about it, and it's how he basically, you know, it's his plays on women. It's how he gets them to sleep with him. It's very much an early 2000s show. But he does his final play, which is called The Robin, and it's this whole episode dedicated to it, and it's how he proposes to her. And it's very sweet.
Okay.
And it's full of like left fields. Anyways, so that was great. And Ted ends up finding this other person in like the last season, kind of last second.
Sure.
So guess what happens in the very final episode of How I Met Your Mother?
Well, the guy's gotta get with the girl, right?
Yeah, so what happens is Ted is about to get married to this new girl, right? And that is supposed to be the new mother, and she's great. She gets the whole season.
Yo,
of
go
character-
back.
What?
That looks like Among Us.
Fuck you.
Okay.
She gets a whole season of character development. She's fun, and she's a good fit for Ted, right?
Sure.
Literally, at the wedding, she gets hit by a train.
What? What?
Yep, they go, and that's when your mom got hit by a train. So to explain why that was the mother, but also Robin was the mother, what ends up being the case is she had the kids, and then she gets hit by the train, and so the kids are born, and then Robin ends up divorcing Barney and getting with Ted, and this all happens in like an epilogue slideshow, basically. Like it happens in a couple scenes. So they do this like 8-season show, and at the last second, they just completely turn it around because they had the footage from when they first started the show of him being like, "That's your mom," and it's Robin, right? And so they had to do that.
Oh my god.
It was so fucking awful. Because they recorded the ending right away. They recorded the ending when they started the show. Because the actor who played the guy died. So.
Oh no.
Yeah. So she gets hit by a fucking train. How I Met Your Mother is awful. I remember enjoying it a lot when I was younger. But I was also like 14.
When you're 14, you have bad taste.
Exactly.
That's.
You thought it was cancer? I'm pretty sure she gets hit by a train. Am I thinking of the Robin episode where Robin's talking to him? No, I'm not. This is how it ended. They eventually made like a new ending where that didn't happen.
What?
But that was the real ending. That's what happened.
Wait, they made a new ending?
Yeah, because it was
People were that
it was
pissed?
received so poorly. They made a new ending.
Oh my god. That's
Like,
impressive.
hold on. Like you're like 5 when you watched it. Yeah, no, I'm like 89% sure this is what happened. Because everybody I knew was talking about it. Hold on. It has multiple end routes. It does!
This is a lot.
This is, yeah, so...
Do you want to like pull this
Yeah,
up
I'm gonna
on
pull
screen?
this up on screen real quick. I'm just double checking. Despite 9 even final season, there was at least one standout episode. 16th episode, How Your Mother Met Me. Yeah, that was a cute episode. An alternate ending. Yeah, so the ending was a long time coming. Yeah, they killed the mother off, and then yeah. So I'm right.
But they don't mention a train. Are you gonna fucking word search it?
I must have fucking like hallucinated this.
No.
The train part.
It's
Everything happened, but I might have hallucinated getting hit by the train.
You just made this shit up to fuck with me.
No, I swear to God, this is real.
Okay, look at
How I Met Your Mother.
Train, just
Train. No, that's something else. How I Met Your Mother.
Ending
How
train.
did the mother die? Illness.
No.
Okay, I guess I was
get
wrong.
hit by the train.
I swear to God, she got hit by a train. I think I watched a YouTube poop or something. Again, I was like 13.
You hallucinated a train crash. That's so
Funny. I've thought this my entire life. Since I watched it.
Okay.
I swear to God, this exists.
Someone lend us like $1 million.
Hold on, no, I gotta
Oh my god, okay.
How I Met Your Mother hit by train. This never happened. I created a fake memory.
Sophie?
Yeah?
I'm sorry to tell you, you're from the alternate train dimension.
Train dimension. I'm from the Berenstain universe.
Oh my god.
Giant train with illness written on it.
Illness was the name of the train.
I swear to God, I'm not like making this shit up. I vividly remember the train thing happening because I remember Ted's
Was there
face.
blood?
No, it's like one of those like, you know when Regina George gets hit by the bus
Sure.
in Mean Girls? It's very similar to that scene.
My god.
I must have seen like a YouTube or something because there is a scene where they're at the train tracks. That's where they meet. Is the train tracks? And I thought that she died at the same train tracks. I could have sworn that's what happened.
Are you gonna blow up this turkeys or what?
I'm gonna blow these turkeys.
Food.
Blow some turkeys.
Turkeys.
I swear to God, I'm not making this up.
That
I mean, I have to be. That's fucked up.
someone lend us $1 million. We'll rehire all the actors.
They're making a new show now. They're making How I Met Your Father.
Okay, we gotta have the dad hit by a train.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's how I Met Your Father has.
Here's how the How I Met Your Father ends. He walks out of a sperm donation bank onto a train track, and then just like shoots
That's the whole shit. Thank you, Girl Street.
Stream Team donated $5. Love the episode of How I Met Your Mother where Thomas the Tank Engine demolishes the mom.
Thank you, Girl Street Team. I can't believe I invented a whole new alternate universe ending. What the fuck? Where did this false... I have to know where this false memory came from. Okay, so here's the thing. I watched How I Met Your Mother on a, like, pirated website. I think the creator creator might have swapped it out to fuck with me. No. Not me specifically, but everybody watching. Because I watched it, like, again, I was 14. I watched it on, like, a shitty little pirated media website. Fucking Kiss cartoon. So I feel like that might have happened. I have no fucking clue how I missed, like this happened. That's my best guess, is that this website had a fake ending.
No.
Just to fuck with people. You don't believe me? You don't think that that's reasonable?
Here, I love you.
I love you.
God, you're perfect.
I promise I'm not making it up.
I trust you so much.
Oh my god.
We offer $100 to those who can find.
Unironically, if somebody finds out this is real,
What are you gonna do? Shout them out?
I'll shout you out. I'll do something.
You'll do something.
I'll do something. I'll go viral.
You'll go.
I'll go viral.
That's it.
You know, there's always people like, oh, this lost media that this person found. Oh, I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew this existed, right? That's like always viral.
Sure.
That's viral stuff.
Like when we both agreed that Bolt had that one scene that wasn't
right? That scene where Bolt rubs his paw on the thing and it's going away and he's like, what? The thing's not actually there. And then that's not actually in the movie.
No, like the girl sees him and doesn't recognize him because he doesn't have the bolt.
Well, both things.
Yeah.
Both of those things
Yeah.
are things that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But we remember the scenes.
It's so weird. What the fuck?
It had to be like a trailer that made
Maybe
that.
it was a deleted scene.
It had either a deleted scene or like a trailer that used like deleted footage
Right?
or something. Because I swear to God that scene exists.
Apparently Barney got hit by a bus. Is that it?
Oh! Did I combine these things?
Is that your culprit?
Oh my
Okay.
God, did my mind combine these things?
Okay.
Barney hit by train?
No, that's gonna be
Or bus?
No, that's
No. When did this happen? What episode was this?
No, Sophie and I literally watched Bolt, and it didn't happen. Did we all collectively imagine this? Season 3, episode 20.
Okay, that's not what I wouldn't have gotten that confused then. That's too late in. Like
You promise, you swear.
promise. Like it was so sudden. And I remember talking about it with a friend. I was like, what? She got hit by a train. What the fuck? Ryan! Hi! We're not talking about Squid Game anymore, like the title says. But
We're talking about
Secret How I Met Your Mother ending that I guess I made up, but I swear to God existed. Basket time.
basket time.
For me? Oh, basket time for me? Basket time for
time?
me?
Basket time.
Okay, so I just told a story about How I Met Your Mother ended, and I said that the woman that was the mother, Ted's the mother, who wasn't Robin, the mother, the band. No, I said that she got hit by a train at the end, and that's how it ended. And everybody went, Sophie, what are you talking about? Turns out that's not real. But my entire life after seeing the show, when I was like 14 or something, I've remembered that as the ending. Am I thinking the end of Seinfeld? No, I've never seen Seinfeld. I don't know. Also, I gotta turn the music back on. But like,
I don't know.
I don't know. I
don't know.
My running theory is that the pirate website I was watching this on as a child, they swapped it out.
The thing is if that
It's not even how Seinfeld ends.
I don't know how you got this.
I don't either. I must have watched a YouTube.
Because something
poop.
as left field as like getting hit by a fucking train.
That would I have to have watched a YouTube poop or something. Like there has to be some obscure YouTube
Are we gonna
poop
have
out there.
to are we gonna have to ask Ellie? Like, hey, Ellie.
Yeah, you know YouTube poops. Isn't that part of the finale? Isn't that a part of the finale? Is it?
Is it?
Please tell me I didn't misremember the train thing. Somebody got hit by a fucking train, right?
Did someone get hit by a
Do
train?
we have to go watch the finale of How I Met Your Mother to
We'd get
confirm?
taken down.
Tracy and Ted meet at. Yeah, I know they meet at a train station, but that's not the finale.
That's aside from the point.
She gets the whole season to get right, doesn't she? I actually don't know.
To what?
Did somebody get hit by a fucking train or not?
Did someone get hit by a train? I feel like that's.
Can we please? No, I don't want to watch How I Met Your Mother. Ryan was talking about trains earlier. That's fucked up. Everything's
fucked up.
connected.
Everything's connected on a big old train track. Choo-choo.
If that did happen on a pirate website, there's no way that's not like backed up somewhere, right?
I don't know. Pirate websites get taken down all the time.
They do. You remember Train in a Tragic Death? I swear. Okay. Swear to God.
How I Met Your Mother train death.
Yes. We're just train hit by train.
Okay.
How I Met Your Mother. I already Googled this. Fuck.
I don't know.
Train. Where's train? Where's train? Where's train? What is the drunk train? I don't know what the drunk. This is not it.
This is not it. Subway Wars? Was someone hit by the subway?
I don't think so. They kiss and the train passes, then it cuts. But that was just a way to do a cut. Oh my God. I think that was. I definitely think I saw a YouTube poop then. I think somebody made that happen, and then like Ted looks surprised.
Do we have to look up How I Met Your Mother YouTube poop?
Oh my God!
The
How
thing
I Met
is,
Your Mother hit
sweetheart,
by train.
Sweetheart,
Poop.
darling, darling,
Yeah,
darling.
yeah.
I love you. If it was a YouTube poop made when you were what, like, how old?
That's true. Yeah,
it's
14.
gonna have slurs.
You're right.
It's gonna be really gross.
This was created with a non-activated version of avsforyou.com.
I'm gonna tell you an incredible.
I have to skip through this so I don't get like my channel taken down. I look, his kids, and then they get married. And then he's old.
Oh God, he looks so shitty as an old person.
Yeah,
That's your scene.
I don't know.
That's your fucking scene. I
have to have seen something. I don't know what happened.
How on earth did your little child brain, like, pick that up?
Right? Again, this is years in the making of like my understanding of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like this isn't something that I like thought of recently. I'm not making this up. What the fuck? It kind of looks like the train runs over them there, but I thought it was okay. No, I specifically remember the scene. She gets hit, and then the music like cuts, and Ted looks like surprised, and then he's like, "And that's how your mother died," or something.
That sucks. That sounds.
And then like that's right. And then it cuts to the kids, and the kids have like their mouths open. They're like, "What?"
Really?
Yes. No, I remember this.
Oh my.
No, I remember this too well for this not to exist in some capacity.
Secret train ending.
Secret train ending.
So you know how there's like sometimes movies.
That's what happened in 2.5 Men. Wait, did somebody mesh together 2.5 Men with? I think somebody might have made like a 2.5 Men. You remember the kids being shocked? Okay, something happened here. I think somebody did something.
Someone did something.
That's how Charlie gets written out. That's funny. Did somebody make a 2.5 Men meme? Maybe?
Yeah, but then why would it be How I Met Your Mother?
Maybe they made a joke. Maybe the joke was they took the scene from 2.5 Men and like spliced them together and then used a shot of the kids being shocked. I think this must have been what happened. What the fuck? We are like discovering right now.
This is so interesting.
How I Met 2.5 Men. That must be what happened. Like
How would we find the origin of this YouTube poop though?
Right?
Like,
what if it wasn't a YouTube poop is the thing? Again, I don't remember watching YouTube poops about this. I didn't really watch YouTube poops at that age.
huh?
So
No, but then
it could have just been a meme video, but then that makes it even harder.
Yeah, because that's
More
just-
generic.
Not only is it generic, but it's ancient. Like it would be
Right?
gone to the sands of fucking internet time. I don't know.
I'm putting out a bounty.
You're putting out a bounty.
I'm putting out a bounty.
What is your bounty gonna be?
If you find it,
Uh-huh.
then I will give you
Uh-huh.
one shout out. Deleted
Yeah.
scene, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe they made a deleted scene. That was a How I Met Your, 2.5 Men reference.
Maybe.
If we find the secret train ending, I'll throw a party.
You'll throw
I'll
a
throw
party?
a potluck.
A potluck?
A potluck. YouTube,
potluck.
Twitch stream potluck.
That'd be cute.
Because I promise I'm not making this up.
I'm so intrigued. What are you doing?
I'm looking up deleted scenes. How I Met Your Mother train deleted scene.
You're.
The rump just
Okay. Children.
Please, and take your time.
Bald.
He's bald.
I don't know. I do not know. Final scene? No. Deleted lunch scene? No.
I don't know.
Shit.
There's an alternate ending where they stand on some train tracks.
Oh,
We're getting closer.
We're getting there.
Hold on. Wait, no, the alternate ending. No, if I look up alternate ending, it's just gonna give me the alternate ending where she doesn't die to an illness.
is there an alternate ending?
Because there is an actual alternate ending.
That's the official one.
Yeah. They just used some shots and did a voiceover to make it all work. Yeah, literally they do like a slideshow.
That's
and
so
it's so funny.
ugly.
It's so funny.
That's so cheap.
They just edited it together, basically. They didn't. I don't even think they did anything.
And yet it's official.
And yet it's official.
Controversial ending.
Finally, no. The ending was controversial when she died. Regardless,
Shit.
It's not the train. I don't even understand. I don't even understand.
We are willing the train ending into existence.
It feels like the more we believe in this, the more evidence like starts showing up for it. It's like we are willing it into existence.
This is the ending they didn't want you to know. God, I wanna know. I wanna believe.
I want to believe in How I Met Your Mother train ending. I want to believe in How I Met Your Mother train ending.
I'm closing my eyes. I'm crossing my fingers.
I'm crossing my eyes.
I need to believe.
I'm closing my fingers. Uh-oh. Oh, this is scary.
I want to know.
I need to know. Something existed. That like something is there.
Like something had to have like influenced this
right?
This memory.
This memory. Because it is a memory.
Yeah.
False or not, it is a memory.
Uh-huh.
And something had to influence it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, just repeating what you're saying.
No, it's okay.
Mostly out of desperation.
Uh-huh. Nice shot.
Thank you. Is that the image of on the gold thing in Among Us, dude? No, that's my husband's shark's ass.
Yes.
My husband's shark Sona's asshole.
Well, no. Don't
Little
say it
booty
like
butt.
that. Okay.
Little backside.
It's Duke of Ass.
It's Duke of Ass.
The emote that I tried to upload onto.
Move!
Oh.
I can't get past Olmec today. I'm gonna call it here because we've talked about Squid Game. We're finished talking about Squid Game.
Remember, go find.
That is your mission.
This is your mission tonight.
I'm whispering into your ear. Go to Ted Mosby, and that's his name. Ted Mosby. That's his last name. I just remembered that.
Awesome.
Anyways, thank you all so much for hanging out.
Who are you gonna raid?
That's a very good question.
Do you have any fan art? You do have fan art. You've had fan art that you haven't shared on stream.
Do I?
Yes.
What the frick?
You haven't shared the gun or the zomboid.
Well, let's show that off then. This is a little bit older fan art, everybody. It's not from today's stream, but this is from Iviat June, and this is me testing the flintlock, making it for Minecraft, for Couples Craft.
Mm-hmm.
This over here is me. This is from Starlight Spectre, and this is me in my Project Zomboid outfit.
Hell yeah.
And then this is another interpretation of the Project Zomboid outfit. By Gagudo. And I very much appreciate. I love getting fan art. It means a lot to me. Sorry if I'm not like losing my mind right now, but these are also like over a week old. I forgot to show them before, and I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out.
Let's find someone to raid.
Let's go find someone to raid.
I have to say this because Sophie's actively just looking through Discord.
Yes, I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Yes, you do. And I love you about that.
Let's go raid Socks, because Socks is doing God Game stuff, and I love God Game.
Uh-huh. Nope.
What? Why not?
No, that's the raid. Not
raid thank
phrase.
you. Sometimes I put my raid phrase in the raid command, and that's not how that works. Everybody, your raid phrase is God Games!
God Games!
Hold on, let me copy paste that. Ooh. God Games! Everybody copy and paste that into Socks' chat. Have a wonderful day.
Take care.
And remember, God Games!
Bye-bye.